GhanaTalks Radio, let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful brand new week, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is the news headline review, and right here we are bringing you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu, and I'll be serving breakfast with Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. Good morning to you, ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
How you doing, Miss Regina?
I'm good by grace, your side.
I'm doing well. I love your earrings.
Orange vibe.
Yeah,
You get it?
thank you.
That's nice.
From radio.
No, I just gave birth, so I had to.
To a what? A bounce, like a human?
Yes,
You like to
a
give birth?
bouncing baby girl.
A girl?
Like, yeah, so I named her Ruth Esinam Deborah Adoso DJ Q Fiagbedu.
Why?
You know the name is a very beautiful.
Why did you add my same name?
3 names in one.
What is that?
Why did you add? Why do you have something with my father?
No, I beg. No, it can be your brother. No, it can be your brother.
Which of the brothers? Because one is married.
Which one? What is this one?
Which
The
one?
one- The one you call every weekend. Right, Miss Debbie. How are you?
I'm good.
You're looking fly.
Thank you.
You're
You're
looking
looking bad
good.
yourself. Thank you.
Ah,
Wait,
Who's not
the
looking-
dress, is it attached?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's so innovative.
Very
Designers
nice.
for-
I thought it's a pinafore plus the inner.
Oh, it's nice, it's nice.
That's nice.
You're looking good. Please show us the way.
Show us the way, because these days,
yes.
Oh.
The money has landed.
That's Ohio
You see
money.
sometimes when a guest come in, my bestie.
What are you saying? What are you saying? They're just besties when they come on the show. After that, we don't have anything in common.
Yeah, I see. Boy,
Hey, please, I beg.
Yes. When it's sports, we hear the
Hey,
same.
what are you trying to
we
say?
hear the same. Right, how was the weekend? How was your weekend, Miss Debbie?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Interesting. Ohio is back.
Producer.
Miss Regina,
Yeah.
how was the weekend?
The weekend was cool.
Oh, I missed church yesterday.
I can see. I be like money.
She likes money more
She
than
likes
money.
money.
You have to, but I went to church.
Eh?
I went to church yesterday.
Oh, see.
On the funeral grounds.
But it was a different location.
Okay.
But I make sure I involve myself whilst I was working.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still church.
Yeah.
That's one thing my mom will not agree with. He said, you are still working. I want you to leave the camera and come and work. But, you know, it still has to go on.
Yeah.
Right. And so this morning, let's dive into our news items. Middle East tensions highlight need to prioritize toll. The president of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, is urging the government to treat the Tema oil refinery as a key national asset, especially at a time when tensions in the Middle East could affect global oil supply. His comments follow reports of coordinated strikes by the United States and Israel against Iran, with Iran reportedly responding by targeting neighboring countries hosting U.S. military bases. The situation has raised global concerns about the stability of oil supply and the possibility of rising fuel prices. Let me take that again. The situation has raised global concerns about the stability of oil supply and the possibility of rising fuel prices. According to Mr. Kujo, these developments should serve as a wake-up call for Ghana to strengthen its energy security by fully utilizing the Tema oil refinery. He warned that the refinery should not be used for political purposes or mismanaged through bureaucratic delays. Instead, he said governments must move quickly to revive and maximize Toll's operation. Mr. Kujo also stressed the importance of bringing in credible private sector investment to support the refinery. He cautioned against past arrangements that weakened Toll and nearly led to it being sold cheaply. According to him, Ghana needs strong and genuine private sector partners who can help modernize and operate the refinery efficiently. He believes that if properly managed, Toll can play an important role in protecting Ghana from global fuel supply shocks and stabilizing the country's petroleum sector. So this is coming from Imani Africa, the boss of Imani Africa, Mr. Franklin Kujo. And he is recommending that in the midst of all this Middle East tension, he highlights that we need to pay critical attention to the Tema oil refinery, because if things get out of hand, it actually looks like fuel prices are going to go very high, and that is going to be a burden to the Ghanaian people. So we have Tema oil refinery. It's a national asset that we need to pay critical attention to, because if we do, it's going to work effectively and efficiently. We were in this country when some administration came into power and they wanted to sell that oil refinery at a very cheaper price, but due to some intervention by this current administration, we see them coming up and they've been able to revive it. As and when, if it will be able to, help us or take us through this whole Middle East tension that is going on, we really can't tell. But this is what Mr. Franklin Kujo is recommending, that is a national asset that we need to pay critical attention to. Right, Ms. Debbie, your thoughts on this, please?
Yeah, so in a statement he said Tema oil refinery is a vital asset. It should tell you that the refinery is helping the country positively. Okay, so with this chaos that is going on between Iran and Israel and pushing the USA to also join this whole conflict, don't forget that these countries are countries where we also shall I say import?
We do lots of business.
Yes, we do a lot of businesses with. So with now that these countries are having a misunderstanding between each other, it's going to affect subordinate countries that rely on this country for, shall I say import duties? That relies on this country, okay, because we import a lot of things. With this thermal oil refinery we are talking about, yes, we refine oil, but sometimes we also go to them. We import some at some point in time. We import some into the country. So imagine this chaos is going on. It's going to affect us. Like on a normal basis, in can fire on, but I was saying fire on because we are attached to them. And not only Ghana, other countries are also attached to this particular countries. And everybody is basing on fuel because we use fuel almost every day. Transportation demands fuel, the use of fuel. So imagine this chaos is going on. Then the only source which Ghana is relying on, as at this time, is not able to sustain us, or if will not be able to sustain us, then it's going to affect us because where else are we going to look up to? Because even the places that we feel like we are relying on, they are not stable. As it stands now, those countries are not stable. They are all fighting here and there. So if the only source, which is the thermal oil refinery, we are now paying attention to it. The more reason they are calling on the government to pay more attention to it is because of what I'm saying right now. Because where the countries we are relying on, they are not stable. So if we don't pay critical attention to thermal oil refinery, that is an asset or a vital asset to us as a country, then it means when it's happening like that, there will be surge in prices of fuel. When it's happening like that, it's going to affect everybody. The drivers are going to feel it. We will also inflation everywhere. Yeah. We will feel it. In fact, it's going to affect everything from trade to goods to business to almost everything, because even the traders at the market who sells the foodstuffs, they go to buy this thing. Sometimes they buy it from the northern regions and all that, and it has to do with transport, right? So if there is surge in the price of fuel, the driver will increase because he doesn't want to run at loss. The trader will also increase his prices because she also doesn't want to run at loss. And then when it's happening like that, we the consumer will suffer more. And it's going to make things very, very difficult. And even if we are not careful, the stabilized economy that we are all preaching about is going to be in a mess, because this whole thing can crash everything around. The government is doing its possible best, but if we don't pay attention to this, it's going to hit us hard as a country. And that is why everybody is calling on fuel, because anytime there is an increase in fuel, it affects everything. You remember when the city becomes stabilized and then fuel and everything, diesel, petrol, everything became they reduced the prices. You can tell for yourself that you felt it, because the drivers were ordered to reduce their fares, although some of them did it, but the 90% who did it, we felt the impact. Yeah. And then when you go to market, things that used to be expensive, now it has reduced. It is only the wicked, the traders who have already purported their mind that they are not going to reduce the price, they are not going to work in accordance with the government. That is their own cup of tea without sugar. But when we look at the stabilization of the cedi to the reduction of fuel prices, it has positively affected everybody in this country. So imagine if fuel price, because don't forget that COPEC is, they had a stakeholder meeting that it's a possibility. They said from this week going, it's a possibility that there will be a surge.
But they mentioned that, COPEC also mentioned that they have about 5 weeks and over of fuel stored.
Now 5 weeks is for 1.5 months. 1 month, 1 week. Now 1 month, 1 week in a day. That means after 1 month, what happens to the remaining of the month? So if it is 1 month,
we'll just pray that
1 month, 1 week. Then let's just imagine that the 1 month, 1 week is March. So by the end of the month, then 1 week from April. There's from April to December.
So at this juncture, what do you think the government can do to intervene on behalf of Ghanaians?
The only thing they can do now is
pray. Because at this juncture, I don't think it will even be right to take loans just to make
loans.
Just to make it conducive for we not to be
We've
affected
bought
by.
that from IMF until look of annoying. No.
And even if you get the loan, where are you going to purchase the oil
Like,
from?
was it Iran or Israel? Which of these two?
Where the
oil,
Iran.
Iran.
Yeah.
It gets. I mean, it was bombed, or should I say?
Hey.
I think that's one of the largest oil
Yes.
refineries.
Yeah.
So this is not affecting only Ghana.
Wait.
It's affecting all neighboring African countries, because just as the way we are all saying is, we are relying on them for a year. It's like we are relying on them from the raw materials. Then when we bring it here, we refine it for our use. So now that there is chaos there, how do you get the raw material to refine it into the fuel that we will use? So,
It's a lot.
that's the only thing we can say.
Right.
Because everyone is calling on government. They say, I can tell you, I'm not in the shoes of the president, but why is she?
Should be a wire shit. I'm not so sorry, but
Why is she?
share.
It's not easy.
Hey God,
I think I saw a video of him saying that being a president is not easy.
It's not easy.
Oh no, it's
not
not
at
easy.
all.
It's not
Like
easy.
carrying the whole everybody's burden
Like
on your
millions of
shoulder.
people.
yeah, on your
Even
head.
if you have 3 kids you're taking care of, see how it is.
Even once it.
Yes.
Hey, Jaisa, Jai.
Because this is a case that one person, what's the name, Closard is pulling you. Oil refining is pulling you.
Teachers
are pulling you.
Nurses
are pulling you. So
mortuary workers.
it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot.
We beg them. So Mr. Franklin Kujo is saying that the private sector should collaborate with the government right now to make sure that they make the Tema oil refinery a priority. Do you think that it looks like the government is not handling it well? Where we saw in the case of them wanting to sell it at a very cheaper price. Do you think that if we should privatize the Tema oil refinery, it will get to the place that we want it to get?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? At this juncture, it's all about dependency. We already have the Tema oil refinery. So what's left? The only thing left is how we manage it well. And as he said, they better still connect or collaborate with the private sectors. Most of these private oil sectors, they only know where they are getting their oil from. So why not collaborate with them? Even if it's 20% or 15% or 10%, even 5% shareholder in it, they know that they have a sense of responsibility to make sure that they contribute to the growth of that sector. And when we talk about oil dependency, this is not the time where we would be affected by this war going on. If only we had our own oil, we wouldn't be afraid of what is going on. Say Iran, Israel, they are fighting, blah blah blah. And when I saw the Iran oil sector being bombed, I was like, Yehovah, we are dead. We are dead.
And people from in this
Hey.
they are going to politicize.
They've already politicized it, my dear. Yesterday I saw a video where John Dramani Mahama was blasting the former administration, where he was saying, now Ukraine and Russia won, I know they're fighting home, Russia 7,000 kilometers. So said then no, and I'm saying, she said now. Man started politics and a few moments later,
then they brought the
current one.
Wow.
When we look at the Russian and Ukraine war, okay, it's a global crisis, but how did it really affect us? That is what we are supposed to ask ourselves.
Looking at how the previous administration made this whole thing, it made it look as if we were actually in that country.
Exactly. And
So
we are affected so much.
You get it.
But ne papa mu me dwen ho am say then na yenya free omo ho.
If you go to markets, it's in Yama koso adan Russia.
Aye.
Tomato paste adan
Russia and Ukraine. Ehon no mo ye o.
Any COVID.
It should just be sincere. They
You
stole
see,
the money.
but here lies the case when it comes to Iran and Israel. We know that we are getting oil from these people, and we will no longer be getting oil until their differences are being settled. Now, I think NPA came out to say it wouldn't affect us because they've already stored like how many weeks? 3 weeks?
6 weeks.
5 weeks.
5.
And on it wouldn't take us a long term. It's just for a short period of time. So we should be ready. They should tell us the truth. That very soon we start paying double prices. Because then you bet you. I mean, I've already said it. I'll wake up at dawn and start working.
Because if fuel prices go up, TNT will go up, and if TNT goes up, prices of goods and services will also go up because the fuel prices affect everything. So it's like a chain.
So then it means that the cost of living will be hell.
Exactly.
But by side though, it means that our livelihoods or our survival depends on this Western world.
Yeah.
Because tell me why, if Iran and Israel is having a conflict, why should they affect us?
Why should they affect us in a way?
But it means our survival depends on them.
Yeah.
As it stands now, not entirely our survival, but
I think
major part
so
of
yes, if major,
is actually
then
from them.
So automatically we are depending on them. That is it. Because on a normal basis, if two countries are having, it shouldn't affect my country. Why should it affect me?
We shouldn't even care. What we should be doing is praying with them.
Praying and then sending maybe our soldiers to go and help them.
And our soldiers now,
yes, very sad. I saw a video where one was asking, "Will I survive?" Like,
really?
I'm telling you.
It's funny, but it's sad.
Yeah,
No, I'm not seeing that.
You've not seen it.
I only saw one with the back.
No.
They were giving him
I can't even say.
your stomach or your abdomen.
No, this side.
Your lungs.
This ribs.
Your ribs.
Your ribs.
Yes.
All right.
And then I think he said I can't feel my legs.
Oh.
He was telling them, and then he asked him, "Will I survive?" And I felt like shedding tears.
This one there, he's
It's
paralyzed
sad.
with that.
Yeah, it's sad. It's serious. This is no joke. Don't say it. Don't ever say it that you see, Ghanaians, we take things for granted.
Yeah.
Well, see a bedroom and I didn't count.
Yeah, let's go. Galamsey is a war. Shoot to kill needed.
Simple.
Ishmael Norman. I was expecting that. Security analyst Dr. Ishmael Norman has suggested that a stronger and more aggressive approach may be needed to tackle illegal mining, widely known in Ghana as Galamsey. His comments come at a time when concerns are growing over the environmental damage caused by illegal mining, especially in forest reserves and water bodies. According to recent data from the Forestry Commission, illegal mining has destroyed almost 9,000 hectares of forest reserves in Ghana. The commission reports that about 5,252.9 hectares were lost between 2021 and 2024, bringing the total land affected by Galamsey to 8,923.8 hectares as of December 31st, 2024. Dr. Norman said the scale of the destruction shows that illegal mining should be treated as a major national security threat. He explained that many of the people who are arrested at illegal mining sites are often young workers who may not have the real power to stop the activity. According to him, influential individuals are sometimes behind these operations. Because of this, he argued that authorities must adopt stronger measures to stop the practice and protect the country's natural resources. Dr. Norman also expressed concern about the pollution of rivers and water bodies, saying illegal mining is seriously threatening Ghana's water supply and environmental sustainability. He described the situation as a war against the environment, stressing that the country must act decisively to stop the destruction. So this is coming from Mr. Ishmael Norman. He said, at this juncture that we've gotten to the fight against Galamsey, shoot to kill is the best approach. Miss Eugenia, your thoughts?
Okay, so when it comes to Galamsey, I would say Galamsey is a national crisis, and we don't need to politicize it because should I say, last year, this year, most people have started politicizing the Galamsey issue, which is not supposed to be so, because it's a national menace where we all need to fight together, either NPP, either NDC. We all need to come together as one people and fight it. Because when we look at Galamsey, Galamsey is not a good thing. It has its negative. In fact, out of, let's say, 1% positive, it has a lot, 99.9% negative, which we need to which we need to look at. First off, destroying our water bodies, destroying the environment, destroying the natural resource.
Yeah.
Yes. And also the chemicals being used. When you go to the rural areas, most people drink directly from these water bodies.
Yeah, from the water
And
bodies.
when you take it, it goes into your system.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mind you, the chemicals in it, it's destroying. And the lungs are saying, the kidney are saying, when you're this, when you're that. Yeah, you will city here. We are already battling it. So just imagine what they are going through. And at the end of the day, these goals are not even brought to Ghanaians to modernize or make sure that these people are living well. I wouldn't say I'm in agreement with the shoot and kill, but as at this point, we need to prioritize it. Why a chono? Nah, then, they've cut your head. They've shoot you.
They'll shoot you.
They'll shoot you
to
because,
kill.
mind you, 8 gallant men died because of this. When you take the 8 people aside, the security personnel, the police officer, I remember one police officer who died because he was chasing one galamsey and the galamsey just dived into the water. You don't know how to swim, you dived into the water. To go and do what?
He's fighting
Yeah.
for...
Oh, no, what sort of fighting is
He's
this?
on duty, so so imagine he survived.
No. Hey, me, I've seen a pool. I don't know how to swim, then I'll enter.
I've seen it.
No.
You are a lifesaver.
No, I will not. See, I know that as a security person, you need to you can't say
Go all out.
Risk your life, but no, my darling, no.
See,
This
I risk my
nation
life
is
for
not a
Ghana.
nation to die for.
Are you real?
You want to die for your nation? Will they die for you?
I wouldn't die at the first place.
If you know how to swim, that is not a problem. You can go all out and chase them. But there lies the case. To me, swimming. So better still, they shoot and kill now, because dialogue is no longer working. Communication is no longer working. The NIMOS seizing chamfan, seizing excavators. I think just last week they seized almost 1,000+ chamfans.
They just brought in from the what the bed?
Just a galamsey nyanjayo, omunyanjaye. In fact, we are galamsey nimpo na ode mboa or mine nimpo anka. Problem in ho. But go send gold board or who. And I even think the gold board also has a responsibility to play in all this.
In all of this, yeah.
Because people are already tagging them with they funding the galamseyers just for gold. And they are silent. And to shoot to kill.
Miss Debbie, do you think that the shoot to kill is the best approach?
You know, I've been advocating. You get it? Do I think? That's what I've been calling for. I've been calling for this. It's not today. Shoot to kill approach, as simple as ABC. Because if you have that conscience to pollute our water bodies and destroy our forest reserve just for your own selfish gain, just for a piece of gold, and destroy over 9,000 hectares of land and forests have been destroyed as a result of illegal mining, and then you want to leave? No. Shoot to kill, simple. So I don't know why the government is delaying. Well, I don't know why the president is delaying.
Yeah, I think during the dialogue with some media houses, he mentioned that shoot to kill or calling for a state of emergency is actually the last
thing
resort.
to do.
Yeah,
that is what he said. And I think he also made mention that a lot will have to go. They'll have to go through a lot of, should I say process, and also consider a lot of things before they declare. But you see, this is the main reason why I would say that we are not serious. You see, one thing that would dent the administration of this current government would be if they failed to stop illegal mining, because that was their number one priority before they came to power.
And the 24-hour.
Yes, he boldly stated that when they come, they will ensure that they stop galamsey. But what are we seeing? we don't want to politicize this issue, but what we are saying is that this thing called galamsey is not helping us. Me, I can't be buying water because when we start importing water right now, I can't.
We've also seen EPA also cleansing some of the
with
water body.
It's just a temporal something. I'm saying this because if you use that chemical to clear the water, and then it's just like you solving the issue from the top without uprooting it from the bottom. So you are cleaning it, and then there is someone who is also polluting the water at the latter end. So as a Juma is like pouring water on the stone. The more it gets a bit clear, the more it becomes polluted because the person who is calling the pollution is still alive. So when you kill this person and the person is no longer alive or the person does not exist, then it's good because this thing will not help us because of God. See, if not for anything, for Dr. Maneboama, for Muntala Muhammad, for those people that died out of the same issue, from what's the name? Is it Maxwell Mahama?
Yeah, Maxwell Mahama.
Major Maxwell Mahama. For his sake.
And did he die because of galamsey?
Yes, they went there because of galamsey. This same issue. So this alone should prompt us. It should bring out some sort of holy anger. Holy anger, yes.
This anger can be holy.
No, holy anger. Because see, me, I always say that if these people, these 8 gallant men who died, get the opportunity, maybe God feels like, well, I'm bringing you back to earth. Come and continue. I'm telling you the truth.
I'm sure
they go nowhere near anything like politics,
they should
anything like dying for.
They should be rolling in their grave right now.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, because we saw people of the likes of Ablakwa saying that the death of these people is going to make them fight illegal mining.
Well, what are they doing?
Aggressively.
For me, I feel like this.
But it actually looks like
they are doing the best. But when it comes to galamsey, it's a no for me.
But are you impressed so far with how NIMOS is going about the fight against?
As for NIMOS, for me, well, I would say they are trying their best, but it's not enough.
The best is not enough.
What NIMOS can do is that raid this communities that are so much into galamsey, get hold of these people. I mean, push them to, or hand them over to the police and hand them over so that the law will deal with them. That's all. What else? So 9 months they are trying, but that is not what we are saying. Is that let's just come up with a solution, permanent solution. Shoot to kill approach. You can't see, even if it is your mother you see on side, shoot there. Because if your mother can pollute water for somebody to die, what is the essence? Because it's the same thing. When you shoot, we shoot you, you will die. When you pollute the water, somebody will drink and also die. So die. It's all a die affair. So what is it? What we are saying is that the whole thing we are saying is that simple as sure, let's come up with a proactive measure to stop galamsey. The fact that we foreigners even have the boldness, the courage to mine on our water bodies,
and we don't do anything.
And then the only thing
them.
we do is that
deport them. We are doing well as a country. Dialogue is the best path forward. Kwachi Ofosu on attack on Ghanaian UN peacekeepers. The Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, has strongly condemned the recent attack on Ghanaian peacekeepers, 7 under the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. Speaking on Newsfile, he described the incident as unacceptable and a clear violation of international law. He said Ghana takes the matter very seriously and has officially lodged a complaint with the United Nations, demanding a full investigation into the attack. According to him, Ghanaian troops deployed under the UN peacekeeping mission are non-combatants whose role is to maintain peace and therefore should not be targeted under any circumstances. He emphasized that Ghana has been involved in national peacekeeping missions for decades, and the country is widely respected for its contributions to global peace and security. The minister stressed that Ghanaian troops do not pose any threat to parties in the conflict, and therefore there is no justification for such an attack. But do you think that dialogue is actually the best way to go as of now that we've seen them attacking? Or you say that we don't have anything. We don't have. We don't have anything as a country. So the
time
best thing we can do is man to man. Let's talk.
I watched a video of this bomb issue. One person said, "We beg, the bomb we have, expiring date action."
And I also saw some.
Some,
I also saw some comments from people who was like, "Black or you beg." This one, they don't be bossy. Don't you dare say it as it is. Don't go and be. Don't go and do over. Don't go and overdo it.
You know, a lot of people, especially the spiritual men of God, has come out to say March and April they are seeing war in Ghana.
We beg them, please. Some of us still have a lot of things to achieve. I heard you saying this morning that she said she hasn't given birth.
I've not given birth yet.
It's funny, but it's
Please.
serious. We are pleading.
Yeah. If not dialogue, what else?
Oh, it's only
Dialogue, sister.
Yes.
We don't have the strength.
You see how this thing is funny? It's not funny, oh.
No, it's not.
No, it's seriously
It's
not
not.
funny.
And the most funny aspect is that we Ghanaians, we have not seen us bako
Yeah, the
say.
yes, me.
Did you see the fish? The fish
Bread.
bomb?
Did you also saw bread? The person say, "Hey, Bob, need Bob." Yeah, sure, bread. And something it was, I think, Bob.
So Kwachi Ofosu says that dialogue is the best approach to solve this issue, because as it stands now, for me, in my opinion, I don't think that we like Ghana as a country, we are ready to
No.
to go on that
We
battle
don't.
with these people.
We know our strength.
Well, I'm just hoping that it was a mistake they did that into our camp. I'm just hoping.
No, it's not a
Because
mistake.
if it's deliberate,
It's intentional.
then they need to be
see
called.
it to be intentional. I told you that the incident that happened at Burkina Faso was not a mere incident. I feel like it's intentional. Okay?
It's a trap.
They
It's a
want,
trap.
they just want to anger Ghanaians
Yeah,
and they
it's
retaliate.
a trap. It's a trap. But you see, we are also treaded cautiously so that we don't fall in their trap. Because if you know your strength and then you know your weakness, you try your possible best so your strength overcomes your weakness, and then you know how to you take a step, like one step at a time, so you don't fall short. So that is the same thing with this whole issue that is going on with this Lebanon issue. I feel like it's intentional. That is how I see it, and our people are there. Okay, we are here, but our people are there. So we equally, when we sleep, we don't sleep. But there is nothing we can do. Sister.
You all die.
Because you can't go to Nigeria. What is happening in Nigeria now is where? So where will you go?
Togo.
Just even imagine the bomb they use. Look at the distance.
Yeah.
Ghanaians, do we have
Do
that?
we even have, what's the name of
the one that intercepts it? We don't have.
We don't have it.
Well, I think dialogue is the best approach, because we as a country, as part of the UN peacekeeping, we are supposed to keep the peace, but not to escalate it. So at this juncture, dialogue now never go.
Yeah.
Communication.
Simple.
And we are how sure are we that this communication or this dialogue that we are going to have with these people is going to be effective? Because it looks like these people don't even want to listen to anybody at all.
The thing, the way it has gotten to, sister, I think we should just pray, because there were many countries are looking for who to back. Now Russia is backing, I think, Iran, and I think is it Chinese or Korea?
Yeah, Korea.
Korea, this is also backing one of the country. So this thing is becoming so intense. It will get to a time the whole world will be involved, because now are cool. Like this person, I want to help Regina fight you, and you also want to help you fight us.
That's
So
how the world was started.
you get it. So it's becoming something. I think the only thing we should do now is to pray.
Let's seek the face of our
Please.
Father.
Where were the prophets that were praying for
They-
the Akosombo Dam for rain to fall inside? They should come out so that we
You know, all that is going on. Some prophets saw it and
They
said
said it, yeah.
And even with the Lebanon-based Ghanaian soldiers, one prophet saw it and said it. Yes, Emmanuel Light. He's on TikTok. He saw it and said it. But most people don't take it serious. After it happened, he went back to take his video and post it again. But people are not paying attention.
I feel like the
to
more
it.
reason we don't pay attention is because of the way some prophets, have made
go
this
about
whole
this
issue.
whole issue.
Nti esi ano obi back on oka sem na se no kure wo mu a.
But
Yeah,
it's
then
a high time that as a country, if if maybe an event wants to take place or something bad wants to happen, a prophet comes to say it, is it right that we mix it with spirituality or we face the issue head on?
You have to face the issue head on.
And also,
and back it with spirituality.
Yes.
What's the best thing to do? Take your people out from
Simple.
there. That's the simple thing to do.
Simple. Because
Wow.
even God reveals to you in a
redeem.
dream. He reveals
Yes.
to redeem, but at least you have to take action.
Right.
So you don't find yourself in that
We'll be
same
going
problem.
more into this issue in the second segment, so do well to stay with us. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Today in history.
We have Today in History.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 1877, the first South African Christian marcher killed. King Yali was killed near Ishowe in present-day South Africa. King Yali became known as the first South African Christian marcher after refusing to renounce his Christian faith despite persecution. His death later became part of the tensions between colonial forces and the Zulu kingdom, contributing to events that eventually led to the Anglo-Zulu War. 1916, Germany declares war on Portugal. Following Portugal's seizure of German ships in Lisbon Harbour at the request of Great Britain, while skirmishes occurred in Africa in 1914, this formal declaration plunged Portugal into World War I, cementing its alliance with Britain, though it caused significant internal political, economic, and social unrest. 1942, the Dutch surrender on Java occurred on this day, marking the end of colonial rule in the Dutch East Indies and a major victory for Japan. Lieutenant General Hein Ter Poten surrounded Allied forces unconditionally at Kalijati, Subang, following a rapid Japanese invasion. This collapse followed the decisive Battle of the Java Sea. To some global observances, Commonwealth Day. The day brings together people from across the Commonwealth, representing nearly a third of the world's population in a shared moment of reflection and celebration. False Teeth Day. To raise awareness about the importance of dental care, oral hygiene, and the role of dentures in improving quality of life. It highlights modern advancements in dentures that restore confidence, enable better eating and speaking, and are not solely for the elderly. Lastly, Get Over It Day. To encourage letting go of petty annoyances, grudges, and minor setbacks that cause unnecessary stress, created to help people move past life's little frustrations. This day promotes a positive, forward-looking mindset. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. The Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, has emphasized the importance of building strong and genuine relationship as a foundation for unity and national development, urging Ghanaians to cultivate bonds that transcend political and social divisions. According to him, the strength of society lies in the quality of interpersonal relationship among its citizens, stressing that mutual respect, forgiveness, and understanding are essential for sustaining such ties. Speaking on the theme of relationship, he encouraged members to value human connection, maintain moral and social factional boundaries in their interaction. So this is from Chief of Staff Julius Debra. He's passing a message across that let's build a bond that is beyond politics. Building a bond with a focus of shifting away from politics. When I saw this, I was quite impressed and I was happy because I feel like politics has really damaged true relationship or ties between Ghanaians and even politicians themselves. Why? Because sometimes you meet people, two citizens, talking about an issue which is based on politics, and sometimes when you hear them speak, you can definitely or actually tell that they do not even get the story they are even talking about. They've not gotten the true story. It's just like a fabricated something, and these people are ready to kill themselves for political parties. They are ready to throw, insult to each other because of a political party. And that will not help us. I've seen instances where people beat each other because of a political party. And I've seen instances where politicians themselves throw shades at each other because of politics. And that is because we blindfolded our faces or our eyes with politics. And so we don't get to see that kind of relationship between each other. But you see, the most funny aspect is that the same people you see in parliament fighting each other, they are very close to themselves. The same people you see them throwing, but insult to each other, they are very close. That is business. When it is business, it is business. But immediately they are done with business, life still continues. You are my brother. You are my sister. The flow. But when you come down to the level of the ordinary Ghanaian, it's a different thing altogether. So long as Mr. A has purported that he's in Party B, and Mr. C has also purported that he's in Party E, and I just want to say I can't want some young party no one and I see and Kabibi, which you say ya. And that is not going to help us. Okay, we are one people. That's a fact. We are one people. Now let me ask you this question: those banter about politics, what benefit has it benefits you? I want to know. You fighting for a party, killing yourself, throwing shade at each other because of a party. What benefit has it given you? Do they give you money to buy porridge each day? Does the government or the president or the person you are fighting for, does he knows you personally, like one-on-one? Does he call you to check up on you? How are you doing? What is this? I know it's good to be patriotic to your party, but I want to know. Because I'm saying this because I've encountered this personally a lot. Especially sometimes when we go out to speak to people, to interview people. You are interviewing someone and then another person in the one about Beijing. Why will you speak this about the government? Why you saying nah Daniel Sem? And then they don't even care beating each other. That is how serious it is. Politics, it's a game. Politics as it is, we see it as a game. It's also a profession for someone. Whatever you see people doing, politicians doing out there, that's their profession. That is what they are trained to do, and that is what they are doing. But as I said, when they get to parliament, it's business. So if they need to deliberate on an issue, definitely, if I'm defending a political party in parliament, I will not sit down for you to rubbish my face just like that. I'm going to defend my party. Because that is why I am there. Defend my party, defend my constituency, lobby for my constituency. So that is what I will do. But immediately after we've ended, I've seen instances where the Minister for Finance, Ato Forsen, and then the current minority leader, I've seen instances where they were eating, they were laughing, so I should tell you that when they get to parliament, it's business. After the business is being executed and then they come out, we are colleagues. So why is it that we are citizens? No, as we the way Like, we've carried this whole issue and then we've taken it so seriously. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. Politics, it's a game. See, a lot of people have followed politics and now their arms have been butchered. They don't have one of their legs. Some people have gone blind because of politics. And that is because we don't really understand what politics entail. We don't understand it. These politicians, they are playing with our minds, and that is it. So it's time for we to wake up from the slumber and realize it. Now, when they are there for business, it's business. And after they are done executing their mandate as parliamentarians or as politicians, they take off that clothes and then they put on, the clothes of being a normal person, flowing with people. And that is why I was asking, what has politics done to you personally as an individual? The same party you sit in the marketplace, exhort people from head to toe. Do they give you money to feed your family in a week, in a month, in a year? Do they prepare your budget for you? Do they store your houses with groceries? That is what I want to know. It's not bad to defend your party. It's not bad to belong to a particular party. If you hear someone saying something that you feel like is bad, there are better ways to communicate. There are better ways to explain. The most funny aspect is that it's just a hearsay. They don't even ask to get a verification of that particular story, to really understand it. But because I love this particular party, and so whatever they say, whether it's true, whether it's false, I will just vibe into it. And then that is it. Nyawebe is out of the box. I don't listen to it. And this is what I'm saying. It's not bad to belong to any political party. But let's not use political party as a yardstick that will promote conflict among each other. Because we are supposed to see beyond politics. And even politicians themselves. Because if we want to do, when it has to do with national issue or national concern, you see, that is the main reason why we keep marking time as a country. Because even things that we don't need to politicize because this government was in power, he spoke against it, blah, 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 blah. And so we are not also going to allow same thing happen. And then at the end of it, it does not affect them, it affects the whole country. It affects the entire country. And that is why it is good to see beyond politics. If we don't see beyond politics, it's going, in fact, it has started affecting us. Because I vividly remember when the NPP was in power, they wanted to purchase a jet. NDC said no, not because we saw the former president hiring jets, with a huge sum of money. He told us that there was no bathroom in the Falcon. And so, after that tragic incident where we lost 8 people, 8 gallant men, they wanted to also purchase MPP for that. But they've forgotten that even if we purchase it, it's a national asset. NDC will not be in power forever. They will go. A different government will take over. When you take over, whatever foundation has been laid, you continue. So if you are stopping it, don't forget that when you also come into power, it will hit hard at you. And that is why I'm happy that this is coming from Julius Deborah. It goes to politicians and it goes to ordinary Ghanaians as well. Because when we want to buttress everything with politics, even things that do not need to be buttressed with politics, it is retarding our growth as a country. And then within ordinary Ghanaians, it's distorting, this cordial relationship that we have with each other. Please. It's about time we stop, making politics or buttressing politics with issues that does not even need, it doesn't have any relation with politics. Because as I said, it's delaying us as a country. And then when it comes to normal citizens, that kind of cordial relationship we have with each other is being distorted. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. And thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be coming up with a second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the morning news update on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, Vice President reaffirms commitment to girls' education. Government urged to establish strategic petroleum reserve to mitigate fuel crisis. Technology disruption hit aviation schedules amid rising tension. Also coming up in the news, Minister of Interior calls for collective responsibility to eradicate drug menace. Ghana Central to boost poultry sector with Nkoko Nkiti program. These and many more coming up your way shortly in business, sports and showbiz. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoko Agyemang has retreated government dedication to enhancing girls' education and infrastructure. Speaking at the 80th anniversary of Holy Child School, she aligns the advancement of girls to government vision and policy. He also highlighted government's effort to review standard-based curriculum to incorporate emerging technological artificial intelligence. She praised the institution's legacy of nurturing generation of women who have made significant contributions to Ghana's development. The Vice President's assurance comes amid effort to address challenges facing girls' education.
Nurtured generations of women who have served the country with distinction, whether in education, medicine, law, public service, business, the arts, or faith leadership. Education here has been grounded in discipline, guided by integrity, and driven by compassion and excellence. Alumni carry these values into boardrooms, classrooms, courtrooms, laboratories and homes, and of course into communities across this country and well beyond. This school has been part of a proud tradition of the Society of the Holy Child Jesus. The founders were women of foresight who recognized that educated girls were central to transformation. And I congratulate the Society on its 80th anniversary in Ghana. 80 years ago, Holy Child School was founded on the belief that educating a girl develops the whole person, the mind, the character, and conscience. In addition to that, educating girls has impacts that go beyond the personal, and the philosophy remains relevant to today. Therefore, advancing girls' education remains key and is a central focus to our administration's vision and policy. At the national level, education policy has returned to the same foundation. In its address last week, His Excellency the President of the country stressed the importance of ensuring that literacy, numeracy, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills are established early. Across the country, new school facilities are being programmed for foundational learning levels. The focus on strengthening early learning environment recognizes a very simple truth, and that is that strong secondary and tertiary institutions depend on strong beginnings.
Indeed, over the past 80 years, Holy Child School has consistently produced women who have distinguished themselves in many fields, in public service, diplomacy, medicine, law, academia, business, and beyond.
The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers is calling on government to establish a strategic petroleum reserve to stabilize fuel supply and mitigate the impact of price shocks. According to Executive Secretary of COPEC, Ghana's lack of strategic storage capacity is a major concern. The call comes as Ghana grapples with fuel shortages and price hikes affecting businesses.
I have advocated all along that we should get a reserve margin and give to BOST. A reserve margin that is controlled by the ministry and the government. We pay all kinds of taxes, funny taxes on petroleum products, but nothing for strategic stock. It is worrying, Sami. You see, a time like this exposes you to not only grave danger, but grave harm that could be caused to your economy. Sami, if you remain a price taker, right, that only depends on what Europe is giving you, what the Dubai Asia bloc is giving you. Sami, in times like this, you will pay higher premiums, right? If you had a situation where we had a reserve margin fund, okay, that is generating let's say 50 million Ghana cedis a month. Because for petroleum pricing, every 1 pesewa would yield a minimum 4 million Ghana cedi. I mean, either saving or expenditure. So if you are doing just 10 pesewas, and each month you were saving about 40-50 million, and that money was simply to buy products to store so that Ghanaians can have something to fall back on, industries can have something, your economy generally can have something to fall back on. These are the benefits you derive. I would explain them, I mean, in 2 ways. One, the central government can insist that I bought products to store when plat was 500. Plat that used to be around 690, 700 before the start of this window. Today is above 1,000. It's no joke. So we might be seeing the missiles flying, you know, for some of us it's like a war movie. Oh, they've bombed here, this has happened here. But this is a country that has not planned. And so look at what we are discussing. 5 weeks of cover. Not enough.
The escalating conflict between the United States, Israel and Iran is having a ripple effect on global aviation. According to Bright Simmons, Honorary Vice President of Imani Africa, the situation is affecting many, highlighting the vulnerability of the aviation industry to geopolitical tensions. The impact of technology on aviation is multifaceted. As the situation continues to unfold, it's crucial to monitor how aviation industry adapt to challenges.
The nature of the war is very intriguing because if you realize we've had similar wars in the Gulf in the last 30 years. The Iran-Iraq war, for instance, then the 2 Gulf wars, the Yemen war, etc. What is different is the fact that at this point we are operating at the technological frontier. The 2 sides are extremely technologically equipped. And that makes it very different from what the case was in, say, the first Gulf War, the second Gulf War, the Yemen war, because both sides are extremely equipped with the latest technologies. We know, for instance, that Iran has begun to receive intelligence from the likes of Russia, helping them with effective targeting. So even though there's been some degradation not some significant degradation of their missile capabilities, their targeting ratio may actually be increasing, as in the success rate of hitting valuable economic targets. We didn't have jamming to the extent that we have today. I'm talking primarily about electronic jamming technologies that are now in widespread use. What therefore makes that different from other episodes of Gulf Wars is that the liability context has changed for airlines in particular. During the Iraq War, you did the earlier Iraq War. You did have some airspace closures in Iraq and parts of Kuwait itself, but we didn't have this situation where even as far afield as places like Saudi Arabia, you had aviation schedules being affected. So this has been hugely significant. The extent to which the logistical sensitivity has increased due to technologies being at their frontier, due to stronger interconnectivity globally, and that has created a very different context. And it's very clear that if the war does not end soon, some of the biggest casualties will be Gulf economies that were seemingly on the ascendancy, the likes of Qatar, the likes of Saudi Arabia, the likes of UAE in particular. So yes, that is a big problem. But even before then, the so-called proxies of resistance, or the axis of resistance, the Houthis, Hezbollah, etc., had also meant that for the first time in a very long time, we had sub-state actors which had access to very advanced technologies, missiles and others, technologies of that nature. That it meant you had non-state actions that could also threaten airlines, etc. So I think that has been the biggest difference. And the second one, of course, is the fact that the choke point, the Strait of Hormuz, is more threatened than it's been in previous episodes. Even during the Iran-Iraq war, that was not a major play, as well as the fact that the amount of fuel that traversed through that strait.
We'll get around that to talk about the potential impact on us, Ghana. Okay. But do you think that the U.S. is...
Minister of Interior Muntaka Mumbarak says combating drug menace is a collective responsibility requiring cooperation among stakeholders. He calls for support and capacity building for law enforcement agencies. Meanwhile, NACOC has intensified public education and prevention programs in schools and communities. According to them, government has operationalized the Substance Use Disorder Rehabilitation Fund to support research, rehabilitation, and community-based initiatives.
Emanates from our individual safety first. There can never be public safety if we do not have individual safety in our home, our neighborhood, that emanates into our community. So we all need to strive very hard. Yes, in terms of public safety, the government will do its best. We are deploying cameras on our streets. Today, if you look at Ghana, we have well over 50,000 cameras across the country. Will that be enough if we do not create peace within our own home and our own community? That will be a difficulty. I know that drug menace is now becoming one of our biggest challenges. And the challenge of our community is lack of we coming together. Because I always say you have a community where some people just come, 20 of them, they will start, and then the larger community is watching. Meanwhile, you have young men in the community, more than 200 of them. All they do is lament. They don't come and sit down and say, what do we do about these few bad nuts? What do we do about them? How can we come together to deal with this? I've seen this in Ababu and my constituency in New Zongo, where even in Accra Zongo, recently we had to go and support them. The young guys came together to fish out the drug peddlers within their community. We need to support those kind of initiatives and strengthen the community to take ownership of their community, to say that for this area, You can do it somewhere, but I won't allow it. If everybody says, I won't allow it in front of my house, you won't allow it in front of your house, you won't allow it in your neighborhood, this one will not allow it in the neighborhood, we'll make the work of the police and the army easy.
Peace is not something you find. He said peace is something you create. You create peace, you don't find it. And creating peace starts with you, your family, your community. And the only way you do it is service to Allah and service to community. I think everything else he said is contained within those two phrases. Peace is not something you go and find. Peace is something you create, and you create it by serving Allah and serving your community.
Now, I didn't hear lectures when you say kaya you topic via say, for instance, Mutaka topic, inner peace, what real peace really mean in our communities. Bibia high into Oka Hasem, and a chief imam no also adding Oka, Senebea, any Ubia, Christians, Muslims, live in harmony. Any topic for years now. He really believe in peace. And Obon Payama, we are seeing now, Bibia.
The Ghana Central Municipal Assembly is set to boost poultry sector through the Nkukon Kitinkiti program, with plans to distribute chicken to 200 beneficiaries. This initiative aims to empower the youth, create jobs and strengthen communities. The program, launched by the President, involved distributing 3 million birds across all 276 constituencies to benefit approximately 60,000 households nationwide. Each beneficiary will receive 50 birds, feed support and technical guidance to ensure sustainability. The program is part of government's broader Feed Ghana initiative to drive agricultural transformation, food sovereignty and shared responsibility.
The Agricultural Executive Program, as you are well aware, was a manifesto promise from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And you know, John Mahama, the president, is an action man. He always makes sure he follows his talk. And nationally, he has launched already, somewhere last year, and all regions were giving their best to raise them, a day-old chick to raise them to four weeks old, and then share it to the various beneficiaries within the assemblies. Greater Accra, we received ours somewhere early part of January, and the region has also launched the distribution. Over here, we have raised our birds from a day old to 4 weeks. And as I come today, we are also distributing to the various beneficiaries within the municipality. We have 200 beneficiaries that inscribe their names on our document to be given these birds as household support in terms of poultry consumption. And that is what we are doing today. So today is the symbolic gesture of the distribution to the various 13 communities or 13 electoral areas we have in Ghana Central. In the evening, like I said, and early morning tomorrow, the Agri Department will be giving out the beds and the feed to the various beneficiaries. And from there, it's for them. Every beneficiary is receiving not less than 50 beds. Not less than 50 beds, because we are giving close to 1,000. And we have managed to reduce the mortality rate, which is less than 4% so far as the beds were given to us. So every beneficiary is receiving 50 plus feed plus vaccine. For them to also raise it from the 4 weeks to another additional 4 weeks, making 8 weeks, after which the bed is ready for consumption. If they want to go beyond the 8 weeks and do 12 weeks, then it's up to them. But it's basically for them to consume. If they decide after receiving the 50, they will consume half and sell half, it's still up to them. But after this phase, there will be the commercial one, where the Ministry of Agri, under the directive,
In business, the Ghanaian cedi could face renewed pressure if the ongoing conflict in the Middle East continues to disrupt air traffic in the region. Ghana sends more than 72% of its small-scale gold export to Dubai, making the Emirates the country's most important destination for trade. In 2025, Ghana exported 103,804 kilograms of small-scale gold through the Ghana Gold Board. Of this total, Dubai accounted for more than 72%. India followed with roughly 25%. Together, the two markets absorbed about 98.8% of Ghana's small-scale gold exports during the year. The conflict between Israel and Iran has led to the closure of several airspaces across the Middle East. As a result, air transport routes used to move gold from Ghana to Dubai have been heavily disrupted. The disruption has potential currency implications. Ghana's small gold sector still lacks a comprehensive traceability system. Due to this, much of the gold cannot easily access stricter markets such as Switzerland, the United States, where refiners and buyers demand full supply chain verification. Instead, Ghana sells most of its small-scale gold in markets where scrutiny over the source of gold is generally less stringent. Over the past year, rising global gold prices have significantly supported the cedi. Under the current structure, the Ghana Gold Board purchases gold from small-scale miners in cedis. The gold is then exported and foreigners' currency proceeds are returned to the Bank of Ghana in exchange for cedis. The central bank subsequently supplies those dollars to domestic foreign exchange markets. This steady recycling of gold export dollars into the local markets has become one of the most significant sources of foreign currency supporting the cedi. Gold Board operates a relatively fast procurement and export system. Gold purchased from miners can typically be exported within a week or 2 weeks. The steady inflows of dollars from the shipment has helped stabilize the cedi over the past year. However, the ongoing conflict in the Middle East has disrupted the flow. With flights restricted across parts of the region, shipments to Dubai have slowly significantly limiting the inflow of export proceeds. In some cases, gold destined for India also passes through Dubai. This means disruptions in the Emirates could affect most of Ghana's small-scale gold export. Gold Board is now reportedly exploring alternative markets to reduce Ghana's reliance on the Middle East. India, the second largest destination for Ghana's gold, is being considered an immediate option. However, selling into new markets could raise logistical costs and may require Ghana to offer buyers steeper discounts. This comes on the back of the more than 240 million loss incurred on gold sales in 2025. Ghana's reduced ability to sell gold to Dubai due to airspace closures means the economy is currently generating fewer dollars than it typically relies to sustain the mechanism that has supported the cedi. The Bank of Ghana holds more than 13 billion in foreign exchange reserves, yet those reserves are primarily intended as a buffer against severe external shocks. The central bank is therefore unlikely begin selling large amounts of dollars from its reserves solely to stabilize the currency. The currency is currently trading around 10.79 cedis to the dollar, despite more than a week of conflict in the Middle East. According to reports cited by Bloomberg, gold traders in Dubai are selling gold at a steep discount because storage facilities are filing up and it has become more difficult to move refined golds. With nearly all small-scale gold exports concentrated in just two markets, geopolitical disruption affecting those countries can quickly ripple through Ghana's economy. The government has indicated the Gold Board is working on traceability system that could allow Ghanaian gold to access more premium markets such as Switzerland and the United States. Ghana has also begun refining more gold locally before export. The country's refineries are not yet certified by the London Bullion Market Association. Without both traceability, Ghana remains effectively locked out of the most lucrative segment of the global gold market. Until those structural constraints are addressed, Ghana will continue to rely heavily on market in Dubai and India and may have little choice but to accept discount on its gold. To sports, Kumasi Asante Kotoko assistant coach has apologized to the club supporters after the Porcupine Warriors lost to Karela United. Kotoko lost 1-0 to Karela at the Aliu Muhammad Stadium, which extended the team's winless run in Tamale. Since 2017, Kotoko are yet to win in Tamale. The Porcupine conceded in the later stages of the first half almost immediately after Herin Ansu was red-carded in the 40th minute. Losing to Karela meant Kotoko have lost 3 of their last 5 league games, with its sole win coming in a 2-0 win over Young Apostles. Speaking after the loss, Hamza Obin called for his team to switch focus to its next game against city rivals Nations on Sunday, March 22nd. In showbiz, actress Juliet Ibrahim has said in a recent interview that she is not ruling out marriage in the future. When asked if she would give marriage a second chance, she responded in the affirmative. The Ghanaian film star also reflected on how her experience in relationships have reshaped her expectations of love and partnership. According to her, maturity and personal growth have shaped her to develop a clearer idea of the kind of relationship she wants. The actress also spoke about the assumption some men make about her because of her public profile. She made fame often leads some potential partners to believe she is difficult. They got married in 2010 but divorced in 2014. Juliet has recounted the ordeal she has endured in some relationships. On Global Update, at least 45 bandits were killed in a clash with Nigerian troops in the area of Katsima State in northern Nigeria, according to a statement from the Katsima State government on Saturday. The violence follows an attack by armed gangs of men from neighboring Safara State who rode in the Musawa on March 5th and attempted to steal cattle, the statement said. The attackers returned the following day and encountered troops stationed at the Army's forward operating base near Madidno Ward, leading to a clash in which the Army killed 45 of the attackers. The statement read, a captain and 2 soldiers died in the encounter. And that's how we wrap it on the morning news update. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the afternoon. Until that, do have a good morning. My name is Deborah Adoso.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, number one.
Good morning to you once again. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, and as you know it, we are here to discuss and we are here to dive into the topical issues and the trending and relevant issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. My guests are beautifully seated and they just can't wait to dive into the main topic and dive into the issues and share their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. Remember that this is your favorite online radio station and we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Log on and send in your comments. Let's interact. Let's get interactive. Let's engage. We will read it and we'll know what our guests also think about that. So this morning, I have three gallant men seated right here in the studios with me, and just as you can't wait to hear from them, I also can't wait to also learn from them and also hear from them on what they have to share on the issue we have this morning. So I believe we've all seen the escalation and the conflict happening in the Middle East, and just recently we saw that our soldiers, our peacekeepers in southern Lebanon, some soldiers have been severely injured. So this morning, void of politics, we are here to delve into it, and also we also have the next topic that has to do with the issue of Galamsey. At this juncture, people are calling for a shoot-to-kill approach. We also hear from our gentlemen as well on that issue. This morning, I have joining me right here in the studio Mr. Jata Nelson, who is a youth activist and also a social commentator. And I have also Mr. Abdul Razak, the NPP communications team member. And this morning, we have a new face here, and I just can't wait to hear from him. We have Mr. Mohammed Chatani. Chahitiani, thank you. Chahitiani. The name there is heavy. Right. So Chahitiani, right? Good. So, Mr. Mohammed Chahitiani, member of the NDC communications team. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Good morning, Mr. Abdul.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm fine. I see you are repping Ghana since we're already in the Ghana month.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I didn't get some to wear, but I promise in the coming days I'll do so to rep Ghana.
Very.
Yes. I see Mr. Mohammed also repping Ghana in his nice kaftan. And it looks like today is Mr. Jata and myself repping the Western world. Forgive us. We'll do well to rep Ghana in the coming days. Good morning to you once again. And you are welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Mohammed, it's your first time here. How do you feel about being here?
First and foremost, I would say it is great being here as first timer and seeing what I saw. I am very impressed to be in Ghana Top Show Radio.
Yeah.
And would like to be visiting more often.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chata, it's been a while we saw you here. When I mentioned Jatta, then I remember Sam George. They said now Sam George's name is not, allegedly, please don't come for me. It's no longer Jatta. He's now a cat. Then Jatta has run.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's always a privilege to be here. You know, this is one of the most engaging and very insightful radio programs in town. And kudos to the team for the great work that you are doing.
Right. It's good to have you here. Okay, so at this juncture, I think we are just going to dive into the main issue. Yeah, I believe you already have a foreknowledge, deep details, and more insights on what we are going to discuss this morning. I'd like to read something briefly for the sake of our audience, for them to follow along. So, a United Nations peacekeeping base hosting Ghanaian troops in southern Lebanon was struck by 2 missiles on 6th March 2026, injuring several Ghanaian soldiers, 7 under the United Nations interim force in Lebanon. The attack occurred at the Ghanaian battalion headquarters near the Israel-Lebanon border during escalating fighting between Israel and the Lebanese militant group. According to the Ghana Armed Forces, the missiles hit the base within minutes of each other, damaging parts of the facility, including officers' accommodation, and causing injuries to at least 3 to 4 Ghanaian peacekeepers, with some initially reported to be in critical condition and evacuated for treatment. The United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon strongly condemned the strike, warning that attacks on UN peacekeepers may constitute war crimes under international law. The government of Ghana has lodged a formal protest at the United Nations, calling for an independent investigation and accountability for those responsible, while Lebanon's foreign minister also described the attack as a serious violation of international law and UN Security Council resolution protecting peacekeeping. So, in all of this, the incident highlights the growing risks faced by Ghanaian peacekeepers deployed in volatile conflict zones, particularly as tensions escalate in the Israel-Lebanon conflict along the Lebanon border. Right. So this is just a summary of what is going on in southern Lebanon. Right. I'll begin with you, Mr. Mohammed. What is your initial reaction to all this conflict? We've seen from U.S. and Iran. Is it Israel? U.S. and Israel and Iran. It looks like the U.S. is now in siding with Iran to fight this whole issue. And looking at how things are going, it happened that in the midst of all of this, the peacekeepers at the Lebanon border got affected by this whole conflict. And as it stands now, 4 soldiers have been recorded injured, 3 in critical condition, and 1 person had a minor injury. In all of this, what is your initial reaction to the conflict going on?
Thank you very much. Good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers across social media. And good morning to my co-panelists. First and foremost, let me salute our gallant, brave men and women in uniform, 7 under the flag of United Nations in various conflict areas such as Somalia, Lebanon, Darfur, and the likes. Indeed, Ghana has actually earned a certain reputation and respect due to our continuous engagement in peacekeeping across the globe. This respect is not earned lightly. It is what we have done in terms of peacekeeping that has earned us this reputation and respect. And it is very important for us to dole out our hearts to thank our gallant men and brave women for continuing this tradition proudly. You see, as a country, we need to condemn this attack in no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
The attack on our forces or troops in this region, if you like, I would say, is unfortunate, unwarranted, unacceptable, and condemnable. These are people with families that has left their people back here at home.
Exactly.
And have actually signed on to protect innocent lives and properties elsewhere in another man's land. And all that we could do is to be bombarding these peace-loving people. Whether knowledgeably or unknowledgeably, it is condemnable. Somebody leaving his home to go and be in another man's country, defending, protecting the peace of that country, protecting your lives, innocent lives for that matter, and properties in a volatile region like the Middle East. Middle East is where you cannot predict what will happen the next minute.
Exactly.
Because it has been a tradition in the Middle East that there are certain countries that wants to be superpowers in the Middle East, and others are also trying very hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. And it makes that place a very volatile situation.
A very unpredictable.
Unpredictable situation. And if people that has actually left their homes, their families, in their countries to go and do this, that means they have the heart for the world. And this shouldn't be happening. That is why, as a party, NDC, and a government formed by that same party, we are saying that we strongly condemn this particular act in Lebanon and any elsewhere where attacks has been launched on peacekeepers, more especially our Ghanaian troops. We are in a situation where we cannot pull out because of international law. We have signed on into this peace-keeping agreement with UN.
What do you want?
And so, for that matter, there is no way we are going to pull out. And that is why the government of Ghana and the good people of Ghana are all saying that UN must go into this properly and do a thorough investigation and make anyone that has fallen foul of this to actually receive the punishment that should be given. In this case, little can we say as Ghanaians we can fight back. But we can all see also that in recent times the international law has fallen flat. People with the might goes out there and do whatever that they want. Those at the receiving end are being prevented from actually even protecting themselves. In this case, we are there as peacekeepers. We are not there to respond to any attack on us.
Exactly.
So why should we be the target when we haven't engaged in any form or shape in this conflict.
When you mentioned that, why should we be the target? Looking at how the issue unfolded or the events unfolded, do you see it as a conflict that was being just widened for us to be affected, or you see us being a target?
For me, from where I sit, I see us as a target.
As a target.
As a target.
But why would they target?
That is the more reason why we are asking the United Nations to go into this and make sure that investigations are thoroughly done to unravel whatever that has happened. And if it is what we are thinking, or what I am thinking, that it is a target, then we should be told why.
Right.
Have we actually done anything to deserve that? If our people have done anything, the investigation will actually come out to tell us this. If we haven't, then anybody or any of the two sides or three sides where this actually missiles came from must answer questions to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
It doesn't happen.
And here is the case. That is why we here in Ghana, through our foreign minister, has written formally to the United Nations requesting for this particular investigation to go on or to be carried out, so as we can be certain on what has happened, what was going to happen, what is going to happen, and what shouldn't be happening in the next time.
Right.
But here is the case. We are assuring our troops, the Ghana government and the good people of Ghana, including my two brothers here, we are all assuring our troops that indeed the government of Ghana is going to work in collaboration closely with the United Nations, and our armed forces to see to it that they have safety, their welfare is being taken care of, their operational support is supposed to be what? To be given. Their shelter, which has been bombarded, will have to be given back to them so as they can live comfortably while doing their job.
Right.
Let's see. You can see to it that everywhere that we see a Ghanaian troop, the person is not only protecting the lives of another man's country, but the person is actually projecting, right, the integrity, the respect of this nation as a peace-loving nation that needs to be recognized in the nation.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. I'll be back. Mr. Abdul, how do you feel about this whole conflict?
All right, thank you very much. I extend my greetings to your cherished listeners, yourself and the entire GhanaTalks radio team.
Right, thank you.
The issue at southern Lebanon is an unfortunate one.
A very unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. But, you know, sometimes we look at international law and then we tend to ask ourselves whether there's really something called international law.
International law.
My brother here mentioned that international law has turned to a tool in the hands of the powerful, countries, because they do whatever they want and they are not held to account for it. That is why sometimes you see America, for instance, coming to arrest a president of another sovereign state, and nothing is being done.
And nothing is being as of now.
And all these laws are bent down for all this to pass. So we sometimes ask ourselves whether there's really something called international law. And look, under international humanitarian law, if you are not a member or a party to any armed conflict, you should not be targeted in any way. So we're asking why Ghanaian, peacekeeping forces are being targeted this way.
Do you also see it as a target, or it could be maybe a mistake?
I'm not certainly saying it was a target, but missiles. If you look at the way the conflict is going, when a missile is thrown, there's a direction.
There's a direction.
So the missile knows where it is going.
Where it's going to.
So given that there were actually three. I listened to the Deputy Defense Minister. He made mention that the missiles were about 3 that fell into the jurisdiction, and it was one that fell in the gate where people were on duty, about 4 of them.
Yeah.
Leaving the 3 of them, with minor injuries, and the one of them with severe one, and that he's currently responding to treatment. So I see it as something that is more of an attack, and a targeted one at that, because 3 of them falling at the same place should not be a mistake.
It shouldn't be a mistake.
It shouldn't be a mistake.
You see it as a deliberate action.
Yes,
from this
and looking at it too, the question we're asking is why they should target the peacekeeping forces. Is it that they were in any way involved in the conflict, or
maybe they interfered in the...
You understand? So that is a suspicion I have, given that the missiles fell within their jurisdiction, signaling that it has some characteristics of an attack. So I feel bad that our peacekeeping forces are targeted. So I'm happy that the government has requested for an impartial investigation to be carried in that regard, so that they will unravel the situation, and then for us to know, and that they should be able to mete out the necessary punishment to whoever is involved in this. And you see, the significance of international law is gradually coming to an end, because of what some of the things that are happening. And I feel that even if government is the investigation is carried out and we are made to know why we're attacked, even if we are on the right path, how are they going to enforce the punishment that is going to be meted out, given that Israel is supported by the United States, and let's say, for example, if the missile was from Israel, is America going to allow for Israel to be punished in any way? That's something that, and looking at the conflict, the UN is made the Security Council of the United States. For every peacekeeping operation to be undertaken, there should be a resolution. You understand? And the resolution, UN being a member of the Security Council, when they vote no, that veto power will just stop everything. So I'm worried. I'm actually worried that we have our forces that are supposed to ensure there is peace, and these same forces are being targeted, and we don't know the role they have played in the conflict between Iran, Israel, and America. But it is sad. It is sad that, and Trump should be advised on some of the decisions he takes.
You think he will listen?
I don't think so, but...
You don't think so?
I don't think so. This man, I don't think so. I mean, he does things that he believes is going to be in the interest of America. And if you look at some of the things he has done, always it has been about his interest and the interest of the American people. And so it is sad. It is sad. I don't have much to say on this, except that you wait for the report, the investigation that's going to be carried out, and then we'll see what the community will do about it.
Right. Mr. Nelson, how serious is this conflict? And 4 soldiers has been injured.
All right. Thank you very much once again. It feels good to be here, and permit me to send out greetings to your 35 million well-meaning Ghanaians that take moments to watch us and listen to us. Before I come to this topic, we are still in the Ghana month, so we are still wishing our viewers a belated Happy Independence Day. You see, this week, when you notice the euphoria around the independence celebration, you could see that Ghanaians are very excited. And because I'm a social commentator and a youth activist, it would be very unfair for me to come on this show and not speak about independence. And one thing that Ghanaians are saying as of today is that when this particular year's independence celebration, we spent 1.5 million Ghana cedis. Last year, we spent 900,000 Ghana cedis. But in the past 8 years, we had a government that spent 16 million on an average each year, and by the time they were done with their 8 years mandate in office, they had spent close to 66.2 million Ghana cedis
just
on Independence Day celebration. But just this year, in just 2 years, we have seen the prudent management of the President John Dramani Mahama and his administration. So these are things that we must also be very excited about. And then it's rather unfortunate that on the day that we were celebrating our Independence Day, our soldiers in the United
exactly on 6th March,
United Nations interim forces in Lebanon, we had a devastating news of our soldiers being attacked, and I think that is very, very, very condemnable by all standards, given background to the fact that it is in violation of war. It's in violation of war rules and regulations, because those areas are marked blue, and those areas are even marked as helmets. So under no circumstance should such a missile or any attack be launched on United Nations forces. Mind you, Ghanaian soldiers have always demonstrated the highest level of professionalism. We have a history and a track record whereby we have been a part of this project since 1978, and we have provided over 600 battalions. So this isn't our first time. We've been doing this for the decades. So it's rather unfortunate that this happened in Al-Qoza, and then we bless God that no lives has been lost, and currently they are all receiving treatment. Left for one individual who has been transferred to a level 1 facility. But then I would like to speak from a perspective where I will commend the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Samuel Ekudzeto Ablakwa, for a very rapid response that he has given. And when you pay critical attention, when it comes to matters of diplomacy and the sensitive nature of these issues, it is very important for such a sensitive position that the minister is coming from to be very clear in his utterances. And I read the press release over and over, and I paid attention that he did not blame the source of the missile. He only stated that it happened amidst tensions and cross-border fires. And then
so he didn't draw a conclusion.
He did not draw a conclusion, which would have been inappropriate. By the way, have come for us. It would have been very, very inappropriate. So we have also lodged a complaint, a protest with the United Nations, and then there is an ongoing investigation into the attack, which is also headed by our forces in southern Lebanon as of yet. So, and then again, another important aspect is that the president of Lebanon, Albert Aoun, also came out with a statement on the same day of the event. He also condemned the attack on the troops, but then he has blamed Israel for the attacks.
Why Israel?
That's a reason that I cannot tell, but I wouldn't want to go into those technicalities anyways, but he has blamed Israel. But Ghana, we have not blamed anyone. We are still looking up to the investigations. And then we've also had a statement from the United Nations themselves. They have also condemned the attacks. And then it's also important to speak that the ambassador of Israel to Ghana, he has also spoken, and then he has also indicated that he has also condemned the attack and is also calling for outcomes of the investigations. And he said he would ensure that whoever is involved in this, it will not be thrown under the carpet. But in the grand context of all this, it is important for we as a people again to see that the end to which geopolitics has taken us, because over the years war continued to happen, attacks continue to happen, and aside this attack on our troops, in the grand context of matters, what is being discussed now is the impact that the economy stands to be faced with amidst the tensions in the Middle East. But I want to assure every Ghanaian that currently with the decisive action, when you have a prudent leadership, when exogenous factors or when external forces begin to impact your local economy, with fiscal discipline and the ability to build buffers, you stand some chance to be able to reduce the risk. And currently Ghana has 4 vessels where each vessel carries about 40,000 barrels of oil, and currently we have, so that's approximately 160,000 barrels of crude oil, and that can sustain us for about 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yes, about 4 weeks.
Even that is not enough.
Yes, but then even putting that aside, putting those vessels that we have presently aside, the strategic position of Dangote refineries in Nigeria also stands to our benefit, because currently they produce about 650,000 barrels on a daily basis, and they are even able to export some outside the country. So in the worst of scenario, we can always rely on on our neighbors for assistance. So there is no cause for alarm. And the reason why it is important, the reason why it is important.
Are you sure as a country we shouldn't be worried about fuel prices going up?
Yep. So that is why it is important for me to bring this up. You see, when there is tension anyway, what the first thing that tension or political tension does is what the first thing instability does is to cause uncertainty, and that uncertainty is what make market prices to be very, very volatile, and prices begin to skyrocket. We all experienced this when COVID-19 came.
Yeah.
When COVID came, you could notice that at a time face mask was selling very expensive. The price of Gary shoot up. To even buy hand sanitizer, it was even by connection that you can get hand sanitizer and buy. But when you it got to a point, face mask became very cheap. So when tension starts in the very short term, prices may jump. Now, what I'm saying is that before these prices will jump, currently we have enough to sustain us for 4 weeks. And I do not see these tensions going beyond 4 weeks.
Are you sure?
Because
looking at how things are going, that they are involving borders, and
currently Ghana does not directly take its supply from the Strait of Hormuz. We usually rely on Rotterdam and Singapore. The countries that take directly from the Strait of Hormuz and stand the highest chance of being impacted are India and China. These are the big whips that are going to be massively affected. But for Ghana, we do not take from those areas. And as I've indicated, that we currently have about 160,000 reserve, and we can also rely on Nigeria for products. And then again, it is important to state that in America, Iran has chosen a strategic attack to this issue, whereby they are not attacking United States of America directly, but they are attacking the allies of United States of America. So United States, President Trump has an election in November, which you are aware of.
Yeah.
And President Trump has already indicated that if he doesn't have Senate and Congress, he is going to be impeached. If this war continues, prolongs over a duration, the risk America faces is that the cost of gas is going to increase. And when the cost of gas increase, inflation is going to rise. And that is going to look negative on the campaign of Donald Trump. Donald Trump will not sit and watch this tension to escalate. Presently, there is pressure on Donald Trump to bring this wars down. So Donald Trump is even in previous week, Donald Trump was even calling on Iran to bring this to an end because of the effects that America economy stands to face.
He didn't see all of that coming before he.
Even Congress did not give President Donald Trump the go ahead to even be involved in this war.
So he just still went ahead. Do we see the international law also picking him up?
Sorry for the way. If I will use this word, if you look at what we are all saying, the international law is at the beck and call of the so-called powerful people. And when it happens that way, it means that whatever that they have done wrong will not actually, they cannot be punished for it. Why should we have a United Nations that have only 5 people or countries that can veto? And anything that we are going to do in the United Nations, if one of them vetoes, it ends there. So we are always, the rest of the nations that we call united are actually not united but followers of some 5 world powers.
So that means that you don't really get to have a say.
You don't have a say. Can you imagine the kind of fight some of these countries fought before they could get a seat in the United Nations? Just a seat to even sit down, listen. We have to fight, toil, and make sure that our blood were almost here. Or will I say our sweat was almost here before they could listen to countries like Ghana and the small countries, if they will put it that way. You can see Donald Trump calling some of these countries shitholes. Can a country like Ghana, which I am proud of, be called a shithole.
Simply to an entire continent.
That is what I mean.
Yeah.
The whole of Africa was being called a shithole. Here is the case. I always get annoyed when I see people saying we in the African continent are very poor. Why do I say so? My brother, the motorbike that you just rode in here, did you buy it or you went and paid some coins and then you are paying in an installment?
I paid cash.
You paid cash.
He's a rich man.
In Europe and the America, you cannot do that. Even phone, sometimes you have to go and take it and then be paying. So anytime you lose your job, it simply means that you are
lost
out.
everything.
You lost everything. Now we have our houses being built by ourselves with our hard-earned money.
Yeah.
You go out there and you are renting. Any day, anytime you lose your job, you are homeless. And yet you call me a poor man. If I am to buy a car today, I pay cash to take that car. Nobody gives it to you in an installment basis to pay. No. I pay cash to get my car. I pay cash to build my house. I pay cash to buy my fuel. I pay cash to buy virtually everything. And yet, because of our own attitude, we allow people like this to call us, sorry to use that language, people like this, to call us poor people. My brother was saying something. If you look at what we have in stock, he was saying 4 weeks, right?
4 weeks.
Yeah. What Eddie Jute Maklo, MPA boss, have actually said is that we have 5.3 weeks of installed capacity.
That's about a month and a week.
That is about a month and a week. And here is the case. My brother mentioned Dangote refinery.
Yes.
And we have Centium in Ghana here. And then now Tor is also coming up. But Tor crude, Tor petroleum products cannot be used by Ghana because of where we have pegged ourselves. But we could actually run faster to go and buy things that could boost our refinery to refine the quality that we need. As we speak, if you go to Tor, you can get fuel for our neighboring countries, which we are supplying. And I think Tor is now doing about 28,000 barrels per day. And that is what we are giving to our neighboring countries. Now, if we go to buy the boosters that will give us the refinery quality that Ghana needs or Ghana currently uses, it means that we could be looking at somewhere 2-3 months into the future. If this continues, just like my brother said, we Ghana, we don't take crude from some of these petroleum products from some of these countries that are going to be affected. But that doesn't mean, because when world crude oil prices rises, it rises everywhere, and it means that it could affect us. But currently, our prices still stands as it is, and will be lower than other places, just as we see it now.
Right.
But what we are all trying to say here is that international law must be seen, just as they say, justice must be done. Not only be done, but must firstly done. When international law says A, all of us must stick with it. In this particular case, US and Israel decided to bombard Iran, saying that there should be a regime change. Why? A sovereign nation is there, living their lives. A few people, yes, even here in Ghana, when some people look at it, I think I was reading something yesterday, and then they said Clossack is threatening on a strike.
Yeah.
So if they go on strike or decide to go on demonstration, so America will come and say because Clossack is doing demonstration or they are on strike, there should be a regime change. No, if we allow some of these things to continue, it will hit the whole world. And so that is why we are saying that if you are doing anything to yourselves, but leave our troops alone. My brother said 3 missiles cannot land in one place.
Mistaken.
And that is the case. Everybody, the three countries fighting, they are all doing targeting. Iran is targeting American bases. America is targeting Iran's
bases,
missiles and what have you, their refineries and what have you. Iran is also targeting Israel bases, places that they can use to actually weaken
bring them down.
each other.
Yeah.
Now, where did we come in this place?
In all of this.
How?
We are the peacekeepers.
We are the peacekeepers.
We are the ones
we are
supposed
trying to tell
yeah.
you that don't kill yourself. We are peace-loving people. You come here, by the time we close, he's an MPP man. We will shake hands. He's my northern brother. We will shake hands, make sure that we find something if he is not fasting, as I'm fasting. But I believe he is fasting. He's Abdul Razak, right? So he's fasting. If not because of the fast, the three of us would have found a place to go and sit down, eat something, Jojo, and go and get a way of getting something for the nation. We don't fight ourselves because we are peace-loving Ghanaians. Look, that is the first time we've met. But immediately my brother stepped in because of the flyer that we posted.
Yeah.
He immediately got to know me. We shook hands. We just have some few discussions. Immediately he stepped in as well. The same thing happened. We became friends. And that is how the world should be. But it's more or less like people are saying that the world must be mine. And if the world belongs to one person, assuming you are our mother, and then my brother Jata want to use his Jata skill to make sure that he pushes all of us out and then hold on to you alone as his mother, what become of us? If the two of us decide to also go and find a name that could actually bring him down, what happens? Right. You are going to lose all of us.
Right.
And it means that the world could actually lose everything if this particular conflict is not looked at
properly.
Right. Look, if Russia decide to step in, it becomes a problem.
Right.
If China decide to step in, it becomes a problem. If North Korea decide to come in, it becomes a problem. All these three nations that I have mentioned are all targets of what is the name? Trump's United States. And they are also targets of the Russian, that of the Chinese, and that of the North Koreans.
Right.
So if these superpowers that have nuclear weapons decide to come in, you can see where the world will be. And then they say when the two elephants fight, the grass becomes the one receiving the suffering.
Right. Mr. Abdul, in the midst of all this conflict, what is the immediate step you think the government can take?
The government of Ghana, I think they've done, the first step by asking for an impartial investigation
into the issue.
And the fact that, given that the situation is not, the exigencies of the situation is not that bad, I would have, asked that the troops be returned back to the country.
They should be returned.
But yes, they according to the armed forces, the release of the Ghana armed forces, it indicated that the people are in high spirits and that they are going well. So it suggests that the situation is not that bad, and so the reason they went there should supersede any other reason. But their lives matters, and so we should ensure that nothing happens to them. Peacekeeping should not be the end of their life. They went there to ensure there's peace. So that should not be the end of their lives. They have families, they have all of that they need to take care of. So it is important that we ensure that they do not face this similar this fate. If they are involved in the case between Israel, America, and Iran, I think that the US or the UN should be able to navigate through to get a level ground for it. Because I for the first time, I've not even seen that UN is involved in it. It is only between America, Iran, and Israel. So UN security forces should not be a target, unless of course they are trying to get involved in a way or form. That then the attack is justified. But I think that it for now, government of Ghana should get the impartial investigation done, and then the necessary steps be taken.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned that if possible, the troops should be sent back into the country. If that happens, does that mean we are out of the United Nations peacekeeping thing?
That would not mean that. We are there to ensure there is peace.
There's peace. Yeah.
But if in ensuring peace, the organization does not take care of our interests, I think it would be unfair on our part, or it would be, it would not look good on our part that we keep on staying there, given that we are made the targets, and that we are not even those, involved in the case in the first place. So in the first place, we are not even those in the armed conflict. So we should not be made targets. And if, in the unlikely event that, or the unfortunate event that we are targeted, then the UN should be able to find amicable solution to our issue. I mean, it should even be treated as an issue with the UN and not only Ghana, because we went there in the name of the US, the UN, as the name suggests, UN security, peacekeeping force. So I think that the UN should be able to take care of whoever or whichever military that has been sent by whichever country, because they are there to ensure peace.
Right.
Yes.
So if the troops are still there and they are supposed to make sure that there's still peace, they be the peacekeepers.
Yes.
What has the government put in place to make sure that these people are secured or they are safe where they are now?
Well, so as I have stated, government of Ghana, even though we have sent the military to the UN, but there's the architecture within the UN should be able to find a way of protecting the people or the forces, a way of protecting them, because they are ensuring peace. There should be a mechanism that protects them from these external attacks.
Yeah, and that would be the responsibility of United Nations.
Yes, it should be the responsibility of UN.
Yeah, right.
So I think that, you see, the international law as it is, we have the principle of sovereignty. We have the principle of non-intervention. There are lots of principles that underpin the international law. The principle of sovereignty is that, all states are sovereign on their own. And so it is not within any, within the power of any government or any president of whatever nation to try to exercise authority over one other sovereign
or
state.
dictate for them.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it is in the first place wrong for the America to think that they should dictate the kind of leaders Iran should have.
Right. So right at that point that UN saw that this issue was it that they didn't see that it was going to escalate?
UN is ineffective because of the veto power America holds within the Security Council.
Okay.
And so a lot of people describe United Nations as toothless bulldog. You are just there to scare the small countries. But when it comes to superpowers, you are unable to act, because if you hold Security Council meeting to send a resolution there, one veto power, then everything is gone. There will be no binding decision. So
should that veto power be taken off?
Yes, a lot of people have called that they should include more people into the Security Council for certain decisions, and a lot of amendment needs to be done, because if you allow only the 5 superpowers, there's no way UN will ever be able to do anything when the conflict is against or involves one of the 5 superpowers. And I think that, look, the best form of peace we can have is when I have my weapons, you have your weapons.
Yeah.
And you know that if I strike you, you strike back.
You strike back. But won't that rather escalate the issue?
But
you think that will rather bring peace?
Yes, there will be peace.
Really?
But even the fact that we don't have it, there's no peace.
Here is the case.
Because I just think that I'm powerful than you. Then I see that you have
I just
oil
wanted
in your country.
to give him a weapon to use. If we all have nuclear warheads, who will threaten the other? Knowing very well that if you threaten me with your nuclear warhead, I'll raise mine.
Right. So as at this point, they know that we don't have. You know that we don't have. And so you rather come and be striking
oil.
me.
They want to come and enjoy the oil. Then they will come and describe the regime as a regime that is not, serving the interests of the people.
I see.
Then they use the back door to come and attack us and take our oil.
Right.
Once the bombs are going somewhere, they make sure that their pipes are connected to your refinery and then your crude place, and now they are pulling. How can a country like US, we are not condemning any country here, but how can a country like US, who doesn't have enough oil, be the superpower of oil? And now you are telling other countries like Russia, China, and then the Indians that they can come and buy oil from you. You have enough storage. Where Russia have enough and can stop the whole of Europe from taking gas, and then Europe will be dead. You are now telling them.
I was trying to talk about the principle of non-intervention.
Yes.
That principle under the UN Charter, it says that when there is an issue in a particular state, right, internally, for example, Ghana, there are issues internally. No state has the power, the authority to intervene in that issue that is happening within the jurisdiction of a certain nation. And so the fact that America, I'm using America because Trump has taken certain decisions that I find very difficult to understand. And given that I've had a little understanding of the international law, it really doesn't sit well with me. Because to go and abduct, a democratically elected president of another country, in an attempt to install another, that's very wrong.
That's very wrong. Right. Mr. Cheta.
So, as these conversations go on, for me, I have always been at the position of reassuring Ghanaians. And then presently, one of the decisions that the government has also taken is to currently security has been tightened across the borders of our nation to prevent the smuggling of crude oil to our neighboring countries. And then, some of these things, when things are building up, inflation does not just arrive. It is individuals that, push things to apply. And all these things, they usually rely on the mindset and thinking of people. Somebody is selling mobile phones because the person has this mindset that COVID affected prices. Russia-Ukraine affected prices. The happenings in the Middle East today is also informing another greedy seller in Ghana today to begin to increase the price of their product. And that is how physical inflation does occur. Not all the inflations are natural. And I'm not disputing the fact that, fuel prices, there's a positive correlation between fuel prices and then inflation. If fuel prices go up, inflation also goes up. And for a country like Ghana, where the energy sector contributes about 8% downstream to our GDP, it's a very sensitive position. But I'm still reassuring Ghanaians that this war is not going to escalate. I already spoke about the upcoming US election. To take it to another end of it is that one of the countries that is also going to be, is currently mainly affected are the countries in the Gulf regions. And we talk of Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, Dubai, the UAE, Saudi Arabia. Now, Dubai, to be specific, Dubai is a strong ally of the United States. Dubai pride themselves as the oasis of peace. Dubai is the main, source of income, or the major contributor to Dubai GDP is tourism. As a matter of fact, in last year, Dubai welcomed about 19.5 million tourists, where the average tourist was spending close to $1,900 per visit. So in just last year alone, Dubai made $79 billion from tourism, and tourism contributes to 15% of their GDP. So for such a country, the happenings in the Middle East waste a lot of consequences on their economy. So these are the people that are going to pull the strings. And not forget that America also has an election. And then another factor is also the Strait of Hormuz, where 20 million barrels of crude oil are being transported daily to countries across the world. one part belongs to Iran. Another part also belongs to Oman and Kuwait. So it is not something that Iran can unilaterally say they are going to block the Strait of Hormuz. And presently, the United States of America has also supplied security to all vessels that will be using the Strait of Hormuz for the transportation of oil. And then also, Saudi Arabia presently is selling to their Asian buyers. And they are not even using the Strait of Hormuz presently. They are using the Red Sea ports. That's where their shipments are currently passing through. So you see, this dynamics, it is just important for me to highlight this because there is this growing perception that hardship is coming.
Yeah.
And I will say this one major group of people that are also contributing to this growing perception. Why are you laughing?
Oh, I'm not laughing. I'm okay. I'm listening to you. I'm enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, let's hear you.
One group. My brother is feeling uncomfortable.
He's very attentive.
I'm not feeling uncomfortable. I just want to hear what you are saying.
I would have to say it anyways. When the tensions began to escalate in the Middle East, and we were concerned about lives, our brothers in the NPP were as though excited.
Oh, would you say they're excited?
From all indications and the public utterances of key figures in the NPP, they appeared to be excited that there is a tension in the Middle East, and they are beginning to incite the Ghanaian to believe that prices of commodities are going to increase. And when you check social media trends as of today, elements within the NPP are already waiting for fuel prices to increase. They have already started asking questions that were you not the one who said exogenous factors do not affect the local economy? And under no condition should we even allow the NPP to say such a thing. Because in Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama or the NDC has never said anywhere that exogenous factors do not affect the economy.
Please.
Oh,
no,
sure?
wait,
because
no,
wait,
allow me to come. Wait, please allow me. Please allow me to land. When I land, then my brother can also have his time to
right. So
to
you can get your facts ready.
President Mahama, in fact, acknowledged the happenings of international factors such as COVID, but what he pointed down to was that even though COVID impacted the world economy, it is important for us to know that in Ghana here, one of the major factors that led to a hardship in the country had to do with fiscal indiscipline, financial mismanagement, which happened. In the year 2020, Ghana ended up in a deficit of about 15%. Meanwhile, the average deficit across the West Africa region in the same year was around 5%. And that was simply because in the year 2020, the NPP knew that they were about to lose power. And so they spent heavily. And you can bear me witness to that. They spent a lot of money that they were not supposed to spend. Now, the first person who even made a statement that exogenous factors does not affect the economy in any way is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It was never the NDC or it was never the NPP. Have you not seen the video where Dr. Bawumia said that how can global phenomenon pass Ivory Coast and affect Ghana? Did you not watch that video? Did you watch it? Don't say yes. Did you watch it? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2015 at Central University mounted podium before educated people, before Ghanaians, and said that how can exogenous factors bypass Ivory Coast and affect Ghana's economy? For someone who is a doctor in economics, he made that statement, and he made this statement against the backdrop that in 2015 Ghana's economy faced a lot of challenges, as indicated by the World Bank report, the IMF report, and the Bank of Ghana report, that the price of gold at the time, our economy heavily relied on gold, crude oil. We discovered crude oil, the production of crude oil in commercial quantities in 2011. By 2015, we were supplying crude oil in massive quantities. But around that same time, the price of crude oil reduced from about $90 $90 per barrel to $45 per barrel, which was because of low demand on the international market. And then the next thing that was also affected was gold. Our gold also got affected. So there was a shortfall in revenue. So by the end of 2015, the finance minister, Seth Tekpe, by presentation of budget in parliament, indicated that due to these phenomenons, the global impacts that affected crude oil and gold, Ghana was significantly affected. Therefore, there is a shortfall of revenue. And you know how that ended us at IMF. We had to go and take IMF's extended credit facility. And then Dr. Bawumia mounted podium to respond to the minister, asking him that how come global phenomenon jumped over Cote d'Ivoire and affected Ghana. So the first person in the history of Ghana to make a statement that exogenous factors does not affect our economy was Dr. Mamudu Bawumia. So when in 2020, when he came back again to tell us that the NPP and my brother here, when they came back again to tell us that Russia-Ukraine war was affecting the economy, and then Ghanaians were surprised because you were the same person who told us that they don't affect the economy. So how come you are telling us that Russia-Ukraine war was the cause of the problems in Ghana as at the time? We acknowledge the effect of COVID. We acknowledge the effect of Russia-Ukraine. But majority of the problem that we faced as of that time had nothing to, was not about the war. It was mainly because of mixed management. And you can bear me witness that during that same time, that was the time that we decided to spend $58 million to dig an expensive pit.
Right. Would you say that the previous administration wasn't honest? Mr. You will come in. I know you are itching. I'll come to you.
Look, please allow me to finish. I admit that international factors affect the local economy. It will be very blatant, uneducated, and very ignorant of anybody to say that exogenous factors does not affect the economy. They do affect. And I've indicated earlier that for economy like Ghana, where the energy sector contributes about 8% to our GDP downstream, it means things like this are likely to affect our economy.
Right.
But the point that I'm making again is that we must blame Dr. Mamudu Bawumia. Even now. Do you know that during COVID,
is it for the statements he made?
Yes, he was the one that brought this statement. It was nowhere in our political lexicon that exogenous factors, and because he was an economist, people bought into that idea. And based on that statement in 2015-2016, they voted President John Dramani Mahama out. So why would you now come into power and be telling us that the economy is not performing because of Russia-Ukraine, even when you were spending $58 million on an expensive pit? And even at a time, the price of crude oil reduced to five cedis. There was a time that fuel was around 5 cedis during COVID. During COVID, fuel was around 5 cedis per liter. Fuel. During that time, that was the time that Dr. Mamudu Bawumia should have taken advantage to even buy more in excess. But they failed to do that.
Right. Briefly, let me hear from you, Mr. Abdul. Do you have your facts ready?
Yes, I have my facts ready. You introduced him as a social commentator, right?
Yes, and a youth activist.
A youth activist, okay. So I expected that for a social commentator who should not take political side, should be able to, digest the matter for the better understanding of our audience. Because look, when Dr. Bawumia made those statements, he stated, if you can remember as far back as 2015, then I don't see why you should not remember just in 2024 the statement that was made by President Mahama. As far back as 2015, you are able to remember that Dr. Bawumia stated that exogenous factors should not affect our economy. And in fact, what Dr. Bawumia said was that how can, exogenous factors jump Cote d'Ivoire and other neighboring countries like, Togo and Co. and affect only Ghana. So the understanding then was that the effect of the situation was only on Ghana. So Ghana was the only one suffering that situation. That is why he made those statements. He did not state that it was not, or Ghana is immune to external factors. He didn't say that. So it is wrong in the first place to make that submission. And I believe and expected that you should have remembered that President Mahama stated, and in fact, there are videos, that Russia is about 7,000 kilometers away
I saw that video.
from Ghana. And that there's no way that happenings in Russia should affect our economy.
Should affect
Instead, I have the video here.
Right.
And you are unable to remember that, but you are able to remember what Baume said in 2015. That means you are taking a political, stance. You are not being a social commentator.
Right. Mr. Mohammed has been very quiet and very attentive, digesting.
And I don't, please let me finish my statement. As at the time we complained that the war in Russia affected our economy, international crude that was around $60 had increased to about $9,000. Should I say $90? Before I came here, I checked and it's around $100. So you see, the increase then from 60 to about 90 or so would definitely have an effect.
Right.
Because we are importing it. So you cannot make that submission. It is inappropriate.
Anyways, Mr. Mohammed, in the midst of all of
the
this,
MPP always try to play a victim. When you say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia then stated categorically that how can exogenous factors jump over Cote d'Ivoire, jump over Benin, jump over Togo, and affect only Ghana. And in any of these cases, your best choice of country is always Cote d'Ivoire. But when Cote d'Ivoire did the opposite, you don't want us to use Cote d'Ivoire as an example to you again. In this case, where the bombs were actually landing in Ukraine, their GDP was much better than ours. Their inflation rate was much better than ours. And yet, you were all over the place, Russia, Ukraine. When President Mahama took over in 2025, did the Russia-Ukraine war stop? Did it?
I guess they are still fighting.
They are still fighting. So how are we able to, please, there is the,
and as at the time you took over,
my brother, when I was speaking, when you were speaking, I was quiet.
Sure.
Isn't it? Abdul,
you have your time.
Exactly. So we are saying that even in COVID, the monies that the MPP got in COVID, any other government that would have received those monies, Ghana would have been in a different status by now. Why? Under COVID, IMF gave you $1 billion to support your economy. Here, I have in my hand, again, you have taken our sinking fund money, 1 billion Ghana cedis, $1 billion. Sorry. World Bank gave you $430 million. You dipped your hands into our stabilization fund, which His Excellency John Dramani Mahama created. That sinking fund, stabilization fund, ESTLA, and what have you were created by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The stabilization fund, you dipped your hand into it and took $250 million. Now let's come to the central bank. You took 10 million Ghana cedis out of that central bank money. Here is the case. What did you do that money with? You were just chopping it, distributing it like granules. Where your Northern Regional Deputy Chairperson said that she did not get enough. She only got 100,000 Ghana cedis, and all your regional executives and that of the constituency executives, even branch executives, got money out of this. You were just doling the monies out and promising us nothing. You told us that you knew how to bring the economy back, but you don't know how to bring lives back.
Right.
When we gave you the opportunity to actually fix the problems and bring the economy back, what did Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo comes to tell us after your primaries?
Right.
In his car, he told us that the new leader will come and take us out of this. And that new leader is here today and is doing massively well. You want to compare that person to your incompetent people? No.
Right, Mr. Mohammed, just opposing the Russia-Ukraine war and what we experienced as Ghanaians under the previous administration and what we are seeing right now happening in the Middle East. Do we see the economy going down, or the standard of living also going high?
If you look critically and listen to the grounds, you will be left with nothing but to believe with what my brother said, that it is the Ghanaian trader, the Ghanaian what is the name, that actually pushes some of these things in.
So we as Ghanaians,
when we are saying that, yes, as we speak today, we can all see how things has actually reduced. We can all see how inflation has gone down. We can all see how fuel prices have gone down. When they say our drivers should reduce prices, what do they say? They jump from the fuel that they use in what? In actually demanding increase in lorry fares. They now jump from it and go to what? Spare parts. When spare parts say we have now reduced, they say it is not enough. So you can see the mindset of the Ghanaian. Now, if you go to the foodstuffs, rice is down, but you still go to buy rice elsewhere and it is still the same quantity with the same price. Nothing has been increased to the quantity of the rice given to you, but the price is still the same thing. Meanwhile, you go out there to buy the rice bag and the prices has reduced. So the Ghanaian mentality, and then looking forward to see that this conflict could actually go above this 5.3 weeks that we are looking at. So people's mindset is that should it go above, and then we have only 5.3. Should it go above, what do we do? If things begin to increase, let me then increase now in order for me to make the difference.
Right. So if we should see inflation or things going up, we shouldn't blame the government but the people. Is that what you are saying?
We must all be blamed. But for now, as we speak, here is the case. Inflation. Sometimes we leave inflation as something that we have to say. When inflation is down, everything must come down. That is not the situation. The situation is actually that today, inflation is 3.2 or so percent. It means that the percentage at which things were increasing is now lower compared to the regime where we have 54%. It means that if you were buying something, 10 cedis, 54% of it is likely to come and add to what you are going to buy. And then if you buy something 10 cedis today, if there is going to be any increment, it is likely to be 3.2 or 3.8, thereabout, increment that you are going to see. So the rate at which the increment was going is what has actually reduced. But we cannot also take away all of this without saying there is nothing in this country that doesn't go with fuel. At a point, we bought fuel in this country, especially diesel, 23 Ghana cedis a liter. Do the mathematics and then give us 4.5. That will give you a gallon. And these are the kind of people that told John Dramani Mahama that he was incompetent. And the incompetent or the so-called incompetent person used to sell a gallon of fuel for 15 cedis. Elsewhere, 16 cedis. A gallon. We went on to buy a liter for 23 cedis under the so-called competent people. So we are saying that things might change a bit, but it cannot be as worse as we saw in the previous administration.
So things
but
are likely to change.
We are actually putting in place. That is why John Jinapor, the energy minister, has actually called to that of MPA, all the sector players to come and sit down. Let's see how best we can run this economy. Make sure that we doesn't run it aground as it has been done before.
Right. Thank you so much. Mr. Abdul, from Kwachi Ofosu, he mentioned that at this point, looking at what is happening, dialogue is the best option we can actually go for. do you think that at this point, looking at where we've gotten to, the people are willing to sit and judge on this issue?
So there are some elements of artificial manipulation in the economy, and that is why we do not see that, or the people are even scared that when they reduce the prices, it's not going to reflect. You see, we have inflation at 3.2 or 3.3 or so, and you have recently there's been an increase in fuel prices. That means there are signs of some surges.
Increase in fuel price in Ghana.
Fuel, let me correct. Fuel price now is still within the same window, so it's not
how
an
much
increase.
is it now? So how much is it now?
We used to buy, at least when I was coming, I bought fuel at Zen's filling station. Initially, it was around 10 point something. When I was coming, I bought it at 11.4. 11.4. That is an increase.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
cannot disregard. I'm talking about what is on the ground.
Within a window.
Please, let
so
me
there
say
is a
what I
window
have,
that the
what
oil
I have
marketing
experienced on the
companies
ground.
use.
This
So
is
it is
what
still
I have
within
experienced on
that
the
same
ground.
window.
I'm not referencing whether there's a window that within a window it has increased or not. The fact is that there has been an increase.
Even if it is 20 pesos, you see it.
You understand? There's an increase.
Okay.
So
if you are telling me that within the window there has
talk about the decreases, like you are actually punching it.
let me make my submission.
I understand.
You may want to talk about the
please,
decreases.
you go ahead.
Yes, so I'll make my submission.
Go ahead.
On the fact that there's increase in fuel. When I was coming, I bought fuel, and I experienced an increase. Right. So, and you also have the so-called economies that is doing well. You have electricity going for about 25% increase, right? You have water going for like 17% increase, water tariffs. And so all of these things is culminating to the fact that there's some artificial manipulation. Because if the economy is doing well, we should be looking at decrease in, these consumables, decrease in the fact that there's electricity, the electricity is decreasing, water tariffs decreasing, and all of that. But because we are not seeing that, traders are scared and they are not really certain with what's going on within the economy. And you have government, pumping forex into the, pumping dollars into the forex market and all of that. You don't see the stability. I mean, there's no stability. So we are sad, and they are worried that if they decrease, they will not go and meet the same price that they used to buy at the market. Yes. So even dialogue, well, they can do the dialogue. But I think that the better or the significant way of dealing with this situation is finding, direct policy intervention to make sure that the gains we have, experienced so far, we get it stabilized, so that traders will have confidence in the economy, and then they will be able to do things the normal way.
So you believe that the dialogue will happen, but as to whether they are going to listen or not,
I'm not so certain on that.
So certain on it, Mr. Jetta.
What about you? We need to do a very dispassionate political analysis. And when he referred to me as a youth activist, and then he's surprised that I'm speaking, and my views seem to resonate well with that of the government of the day. It is no mischief. But if the government is doing well, as a youth activist, does that mean I should come out and say the government is not doing well? Would that be fair?
No, that's not the issue.
Is that what you want?
That's not the issue.
No,
I want you to recognize the fact that President Muhammad said external factors should not affect our economy. Are you telling me that you've not seen the video? I'll play it for you.
No, what I said was that the first person. Do you admit that Dr.
You said President Muhammad never said that. No. Don't change your post.
I did not. I said that President Muhammad acknowledged the international fact, the exogenous factors on the economy, but he was pointing down that even though these factors affect the world economy, in the case of Ghana, because of our budget deficit shooting up to 15.5, even though in the entire West African region the average was 5%, and then in 2020 we all are aware of the expenditure that the NPP made due to election. These were the major factors that were affecting and causing hardship during that year. So the NPP should have accepted responsibility and apologized to Ghanaians, and I was expecting him to actually apologize to Ghanaians. And that is why Dr. Bawumia, after after losing the elections, was going round apologizing. So if your flag bearer is apologizing to Ghanaians that he has offended them, so let us forgive him. Why are you sitting on set and saying that he has not offended Ghanaians? He made mention of electricity. The NPP should be the last to speak about electricity in Ghana, because in 2023 we don't know how we offended the NPP, but they increased electricity bills, they increased electricity tariffs 3 different occasions. Ghanaians don't know how we have offended them. In 2023, February 1st, the first quarter, they increased electricity tariff by 29.9%. In May 1st, they increased electricity by 18.36%. September 1st, they increased electricity again by 4.22% in the same 2023. And if you compound all of this, that is giving you approximately 60.3% increment in just a period of 1 year. When we came to power, we have also increased electricity tariff, but we are not even doing up to 30%. We are not even doing up to 30%.
These are two NDC against.
No,
you understand
why
he said
when we came into power.
I understand. No, he's also a Ghanaian outside. He's also a Ghanaian outside the NPP.
I understand. Just tell
he's a Ghanaian outside the NPP.
Then we do it that way.
No, but who is in power?
You cannot come under
You are in power.
Listen. We are all the Ghanaians.
No.
Ghanaians.
Oh, that's not how you understand it.
No, Ghanaian people don't come into
Jatta
power.
here
Ghanaian people don't come into. It is government that come into power and go. Ghanaian people don't come into power.
And I said,
you cannot vote people into power.
He is.
You said we came into power.
Yes.
We as Ghanaians. Yes.
No.
Because
And I said,
Ghanaians voted
You
for
cannot
president.
He came into.
You cannot play with the mind.
No, that is the fact.
No.
Please.
We
Ghanaians don't come into
He's
power.
a Ghanaian outside the NPP.
Ghanaian vote for people to come into power, right?
Why don't we have floating voters
so-
voting for
so
a
those-
political party?
Yeah, like me.
So if he
Doesn't
votes,
make- doesn't make sense.
as
Doesn't make
a
sense to
floating
you.
voter, making sure that the party that he votes for comes into power, he can equally say we came to power because he's a
And I
floating
will
voter
say,
who
I
can
will
vote
not,
for
there
you
is no
again.
doubt about
No.
it. I voted for
He's
President Mahama. I
just
voted for
he's just
President
like
Mahama
Martin
in
Pebu,
2024.
who voted for you in
Yes,
2016
now.
and
And
make
then
sure that
voted-
he
Alright.
bring you
Yes,
out.
now.
Calm down.
Next time
Calm
when he's
down.
coming, next time
Gentlemen.
when he's coming, he's a member of the NDC communications.
Please, that's not what
Let's
I
not
know him
mix it
for.
up. Next time when he's coming,
Right,
he's a member of
let's
the
mix
NDC.
It is important I correct him that I come here in the capacity of a youth activist and a social commentator committed to the principles and values of Ghana, ensuring that Ghanaians get the right information and their true interest is being represented. So if the government does anything that benefits the ordinary Ghanaian, I will applaud the government. And if they do anything wrong, I will also be bold to call them out, just as I'm calling the NPP out.
Right, thank you. Let's read some comments. So on Facebook, we have, this is from Farouk Dan. Good morning, my regards to the Minister for Lands, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid People, and his hard-working executive assistant, Nuruddin Abubakar. This is also from Farouk Mohammed. Wonderful submission. The incoming Deputy Communications Officer, NDC, was Central Constituency. Mohammed, keep making us proud. And this is from Ahmed Shaibu, incoming Deputy Communications Officer, was Central NDC. This is actually for you, Mr. Mohammed.
Please, I like the other name. Murder it and make it be in your tongue. Chahitiane.
Chahitiane.
Exactly.
Right. I'll do I and master it. Right.
Because I'll be coming here often.
Okay.
Yes.
It will be a pleasure to have you back. Right. So at this juncture, we are going to look at the second topic that has to do with the issue of Galamsey. And the Galamsey Day, we will keep talking about it day in and day out. And at this juncture, Mr. Ishmael Norman, who is also a security analyst, has called for a shoot-to-kill approach. Looking at where we've gotten to as a nation, it looks like the dialogue is not helping. And I don't know whether people are not really impressed with the activities NIMOS is putting in place to make sure that they fight illegal mining. But for him, he's recommending a shoot-to-kill approach. I'll begin with you, Mr. Mohammed. At this juncture, do you think it's appropriate to call for a shoot-to-kill approach with the issue of Galamsey?
Thank you very much. There is no doubt that Galamsey menace
is actually affecting the livelihood of Ghanaians. And it is important for us to also acknowledge what the government of the day is doing. I think the first person to have actually called for this shoot to kill thing was Joe White, the first deputy speaker under the 8th Parliament. He called for this for the first time, and it was a no-no from Ghanaians. And as I sit here, it is a no-no for me. Why? Because
to call for shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill. For me, it is a no-no. The reason being that we have put in place measures that will curtail this menace. And those, measures are yielding some results. What we can do is to actually give them more resources, that is NIMOS and the Blue Water Guards. They are doing massively well. And we can see some of our rivers being turned into blue.
Which of the rivers?
I think River Ofin or so. Something like that. You get it?
Is it due to the treatments EPA has put in place?
No, but when you block the people from actually polluting it again, and then you are reclaiming some of the lands, we can all see some of the lands being recreated. And so for that matter, what we need to do is to enhance what NIMOS is doing, to enhance their capacity by giving them more vehicles, giving them more resources to make sure that their operations is well being done. But we cannot also say that we are actually making headway without other miscreants doing what they want to do. But you see, always and always we like to immune ourselves from this politicking. But it is not going to happen, because you must always go back to see where these things has actually come from. I agree that Galamsey didn't start from 2017.
No.
Neither did Galamsey start in 2009. Something that has started in the olden days as gather and sell has metamorphosed to become what we call Galamsey today. You remember in 2016, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former president of the Republic, immediate, went to Obuasi and said, Ebimu nenam kase meba betwa mo adwuma mu ensi da meba be somu kina. Have you heard that? Some are going round saying that if I get power, I will stop your work. I will never do that. I will actually enhance it. Whether we have seen that or not is in front of us for us to see. We have seen this very Galamsey menace increase rapidly under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In his first term, he said he was doing cleanup exercise or whatever that he called it. And he said he has stopped for 1 year, or is it 2 years?
2 years.
Here is the case. The very people that he sacked, his own political party people, went into that thing and was now destroying more. Have you heard of Apampraba Forest by Asare Osu Donko? He said Apamprama Forest, there was nothing going on in Apamprama Forest in 2018, where Sir John, the late Sir John, actually said they were going to do some reclamation there. He followed them there, and they started ravaging that forest, destroying trees that has stand in that forest for almost 100 years was brought down. We had Operation Galam Stop. We have Operation Vanguard. None of this actually yielded anything. And then you could see our people shouting, please do something about this. Please do something about this. Nobody was mining us because that is where they were getting their funding from. You saw, we heard on an 8 audio where a constituency or is a regional chairman went to a lands and natural resources minister, by then Professor Freshpon Boaten, and said, "Party here sika inti mayen wuro mu na kwaye ejuma." Today, we have a government that is doing very well. We saw pictures that they have seized a lot of pumping machines, seized excavators, and now we are even tracking the excavators. Any excavator that is a new excavator coming into Ghana is being tracked to know where exactly that particular excavator is going to. And the old ones are being looked for, those that has been seized, even if they are going to be given back to their owners, if they so-called bring their licenses and what have you to actually confirm that what we were doing was legal, will be given to them by way of tracking them and knowing where exactly these particular things are going. You remember, there was a law that came and said that people should always inform the government when they bring in excavators. So if the person brings in the excavator and now tell you that I am taking it out of the country, and later on you find it elsewhere, you could see in Eastern region itself, close to places that are schools, hospitals, they were ravaging the lands, destroying everything. And today, those things have ceased. When you were if you were going to Kumasi around Konongo area, you could just see clearly, just like me and you like this. The excavator is here, the road is here. About 7 excavators in one plot, digging. They just don't care what is happening.
Right.
And the water bodies were more or less like Milo. Today, we are seeing them turn into blue. And so for that matter, today as we speak, for me, shoot to kill is a no-no. People that are asking for this shoot to kill thing, what I ask is that after you going out there or sitting in a media house or on a podium, say they should go and fight and shoot to kill, what have you actually done? Is it about only speaking, or is about going into the forest reserves, trying to have a first-time information yourself, and then trying to follow NIMOS to see the actions of NIMOS? Here is the case. We sit here and then we say they should go shoot to kill. In our language, they say we have a proverb that says, "Kaniana antar munjuyoga kuba eraganabun." To it, anybody that have a long tail doesn't jump over fire. You jump over fire, but your tail will enter it. Today, those saying it, are they trying to tell us that they don't have relatives that are doing this? Are they trying to say their extended families are immune from all of this? No. And so for that matter, if you are to do it, you look for concrete steps that you can take to actually reduce it. That is why we lost our fellow compatriots. We were going to launch something called, what is the name? Operation, that is what Mutala, responsibly mining, development, and what have you. If we had actually succeeded in doing that, what it meant to do was to make sure that we register Mr. Jatta, register myself and my group, register my brother and his group, give them tax in some of the large concessions given to people and the places that they were no more using, so as they could actually have teams that are being registered. If he is red, I am blue. If I am blue, sorry, I don't want blue. I actually want green.
Green.
He is blue.
He is blue.
So I am green, he is red, he is blue. 3 days, he and his team will be in that place mining.
and we know the number of people that goes in, the number of people that are coming out, and then we monitor them. After they have left in 3 days, with the green, we also move in. And this were going to be happening in several areas of the country. That would have given us enough time to actually monitor the people. Those that are doing well, you license them, and then you give them community mining or small scale mining licenses. But here is the case. What thing that is worrying us is that people go to take small scale mining, and then all of a sudden they move into the forest without having license. If you look at what the prosecutors of Wuntumi is saying, they said that he doesn't have the license to mine in where he was actually mining, even though he has license to mine elsewhere. But he doesn't have license to mine in a forest reserve that he was doing. And then the criminal aspect of it is that the charges that has been put on him, that he actually also give concessions. Not he as a person, but his company was giving concessions.
You should be wrapping up.
Yes, I'm just wrapping up. He was giving concessions to people in that same illegal mining place that he was engaged in.
Right.
And which is very wrong. So for me, this shoot to kill thing is no for me. What should we do to actually bring on board so many people to help this Blue Water Guard? And that is why they are trying to give a certain backing to chiefs in the local places, and that law is being prepared and will be sent to Parliament very soon.
Right.
Now, when they do that, what is going to happen is that all chiefs will be taxed to make sure that your lands are not being destroyed, your water bodies are not being destroyed, the forest reserves are being kept. You remember when we came into power, we had 9 forest reserves being seized by these illegal mining people. Today, because of the fight of NIMOS, right, we have reclaimed all those 9.
Right.
And then when you say shoot to kill,
Thank you,
don't
Mr.
forget that those illegal miners are also holding on to firearms. And when you shoot, they will also shoot. Even that we are not shooting as government or as troops that has been sent as NIMOS, but they are shooting and then attacking us. So when we begin to shoot, it becomes a different thing. We can create a conflict for ourselves in this country. So for me, shoot to kill is no.
It's a no. Mr. Abdul, at this juncture, do you think a shoot to kill? But are you impressed so far with the activities of NIMOS?
To be frank with you, I think the situation with Galamsey has not gotten any better. We haven't had any significant improvement in the fight against Galamsey. Otherwise, we shouldn't be talking about Galamsey today. And it is sad that over a year, the NDC, they are still promising us that they are going to fight the Galamsey issue. I remember in 2024, Honorable Samjot told us point blank that the man who is being paid to be president of this country can end Galamsey within a week. The same Samjot told us that when the security apparatus of the nation come together, they can end Galamsey in 6 months. They have been in power for over 12 months. We are now getting to about the 14th to the 15th month, and nothing is being done. Absolutely nothing. So this raises the issue of whether or not the NDC really understand what the fight against Galamsey entails. Because we have the President John Dramani Mahama, and today I am confused, and I don't understand why they are not changing the post. They are changing the position with regards to the fight against Galamsey. Look, President Mahama told us that there should be state of emergency. Sam George, there should be state of emergency. Honorable the Lance Minister Amabua, he told us that there should be state of emergency. Sami Jemfi told us there should be state of emergency. Right? All of these people are part of cabinet. I don't know of Sami, but I know that those that I have mentioned are part of cabinet. The likes of Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, they told us that there should be state of emergency when they were in opposition. Today they are in power. The situation has not gotten any better. And they are feeling reluctant to declare state of emergency, to the extent that we have our water treatment being shut down, water treatment plants being shut down because of the activities of Galamsey, and they are still not doing anything about it. We have members of parliament who are involved in Galamsey, in the NDC, It was reported by Irasu Sasari Donko that a certain member of parliament mopped up his gang to come and attack the security, that are fighting against these environmental terrorists. And this was reported to parliament. Nothing is being done about it. Meanwhile, President Mahama, when he was campaigning, he told us that when they get into power, they are going to arrest the kingpins of Galamsey, right? And that the small boys, they will release them. They are not even, the issue of concern. They are arresting the kingpins of Galamsey. Today, members of parliament have left their role as members of parliament and they are in the bush doing Galamsey, and no one is arrested. We have the MCEs of your people. You came, your MCE, remember your district chief executive. They are in the bush doing Galamsey. Nothing is being done. Right? Today, the situation has gotten worse, and they are reluctant. They won't do anything. When the 8 gallant men died, right? When the 8 gallant men, including Honorable Mutaka, my very own boss, Mutala, sorry, Honorable Mutala, we were told that Sami Samaloko Jeto told us that we are going to see a vociferous fight against Galamsey. That President Mahama is going to fight aggressively against Galamsey. It's over a year now and nothing is being done.
It's almost a year.
Well, it's almost a year. Nothing is being done. Today, the situation of Galamsey is worse. And I tell you with all sincerity that if the situation has gotten better, we should have our water treatment plants being running. Because it is when you came into office that we had those water treatment plants being shut down completely. They are not working any longer. And you are still promising us of the fight against Galamsey. Over a year now, you are still promising the Ghanaian people that you are going to fight Galamsey. Look, it is sad. And I say this, with the saddest of, heart, that the NDC, they rallied on the point that NPP were those doing the Galamsey. They campaigned on the fact that, or on the deception, they deceived the Ghanaian people to believe that when we are out of power, and this was said by Sami Jemfi, that when the NPP is out of power, within a month, Galamsey will stop. And to the extent that when we call them to come to the table for us to discuss the way forward with regards to this illegal mining, Sami Jemfi told us that they cannot be seen to be having a discussion with Galamseyers. That they cannot be seen to be having anything to do with Galamseyers, because he viewed it as a syndrome. He viewed it as something that can get them into doing the same thing.
Right.
Meanwhile, when you came into office, you arrested Chairman Wuntumi on the basis that he's committed some crimes and these illegal mining stuff. That one I would not go there because the issue is before court. So we expect that the court will do justice to the matter.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is that the NDC are the enablers of Galamsey. Because President Mahama told us that to the extent that we benefit from Galamsey, there's no problem with it at Jubilee House. And he made a submission to the effect that initially, Galamsey was run haphazardly, said that certain people, foreigners, will come and take our Galamsey outside. And so the fact that we benefit from Galamsey, there should be no problem with it.
Right.
Today, the same President Mahama who made that submission, right? They are now telling us that we should not be worried that our environment is being destroyed. And when we say this thing, these people are telling us that we made it known to them that they are enablers of Galamsey, in the sense that they established gold board to be buying gold from the Galamseyers. They said they have a system that separates, or that tracks the kind of Galamsey they buy, the gold they buy from people, right? But the truth of the matter is that they have not been able to tell us where the Galamsey gold is going to. If the gold board is not buying Galamsey gold, or is not buying gold from illegal miners, where is that gold going to?
A question for the gods.
So this I tell you in all sincerity, the gold board or the NDC as a government, they are the enablers of Galamsey.
Okay.
They are the reason why the issue of Galamsey, Akufo-Addo fought this to the best extent. They have not done anything.
Right. Mr. Jetta, aside the aside the NIMOs, the season of excavators and other measures this current administration has put in place to make sure that they do all they can to make sure that they fight illegal mining, do you think that there is another stringent method they can put in place aside calling for a shoot to kill approach, as Mr. Ishmael Norman is calling for? Is there a stringent measure the government can put in place to make sure that we will be able to keep Galamsey?
So, Galamsey is an existential threat, and the harm it does on lives and human, especially our environment, is so much hurting that it saddens me as an individual, because in 2024 I was in Kwabin, Pami, somewhere around the eastern region, and then so I witnessed firsthand how Galamsey was done in this country. That was in 2024 December thereabout. So it saddens me, but then that does not dispute the fact that the president is putting in place a lot of effective measures, and you can bear me witness with regards to that, especially because so far we are beginning to see some, some gains. There are some significant gains and development, especially in the river Ankobra, Ofin, and Pra. They are beginning to, the colors have begun changing from purely Milo to, slightly white. They are now, the water is becoming gradually
so
pure.
You are seeing
We
some
thought,
progress.
we knew way back in school, we knew water was colorless, but all of a sudden water started gaining color. But all that happened under President Akufo-Addo Dankwa. And then when President Mahama came into power, you just last year, the LI which allowed people to mine in the forest reserve was revoked. I think I was here, and then we discussed on that's LI 2463. It was revoked. 2462.
Yes.
That is one of the efforts, and that alone has saved us about 9 million hectares of forest reserves. That alone has saved us of that. So, and then the blue water guards, the tracking of earth moving equipment, all of those are efforts that the government is putting in place to combat the menace, and that underscores the seriousness of the government and their commitment. This government has even taken the fight against Galamsey as a national security priority. That is why they have been able to deploy thousands of blue water guards, NIMO's task force, national security. They are all in the bushes, and then they are working alongside state security agencies. Even the IGP himself had to go into the forests from time to time. So I will not say that this warrants for shoot to kill, because the Galamsey that President John Dramani Mahama inherited is no longer the Galamsey that we are experiencing today. And the evidences are there that I've mentioned, that some rivers have already started showing, signs of recovery. And previously, Galamsey was done in the broad daylight. Now you have to hide to do, because it's very, very illegal and a high-level criminal offense. So we are beginning to see results. It has not escalated to the point where it has to get to shoot to kill, because as my brother mentioned, those people are also armed. So it brings a different, issue, and then we will not even want to, put our soldiers in such a situation. But recently, our soldiers also went to France to receive training on jungle warfare, which means they are also preparing for future occurrences of such. That is, they are just preparing for the time that if the demand arises for a shoot to kill operation to be launched, then these measures can be taken. But then my brother made mention of not seeing any improvements in illegal mining as of yet. But then in 2017, in the 2016-2017 manifesto of the NPP, do you know there was no single policy that was addressing Galamsey? There is no single policy in the NPP manifesto that was to fight Galamsey. That is why I find it so laughable when President Akufo-Addo told us that he would put his presidency on the line. The question we should be asking now, especially the NPP, is did he put his presidency on the line? Was he able to fight Galamsey? Because you remember that in 2017-2018, President Akufo-Addo Dankwa said that he is going to ban small-scale mining for 2 years in Ghana here. Now, it will surprise you to know that within that same duration, Ghana recorded the highest export of small-scale mining from the small-scale mining sector. So if you say you are banning small-scale mining for 2 years, then how come within that same period we are gaining that much export from the small-scale? They rather institutionalized Galamsey, and they rather allowed their kingpins and political individuals, those close to the Jubilee House, to be involved in the menace, thereby degrading the environment further and also smuggling gold further. And you also remember that the chief of staff at the time tasked Professor Frimpong Boateng to make an investigation or prepare a report about Galamsey. The report was brought to the presidency. The presidency did nothing about the report. The report was kept under the carpet until Professor Frimpong Boateng came out to conduct an interview where he disclosed outcomes of the report. And that was then. And even after that, the NPP, we also saw the treatment that they gave to Professor Frimpong Boateng, even up to today, that they still insult him and all of that. So the seriousness of this government too. And then one last thing, we also remember in an Al Jazeera expose where there was one Alistair Matthias, who is a Dubai investor, claiming that in every month he transports over $40 million to $60 million of gold, and he deals directly with the president. So when you compare both things, we are not where we want to be yet, but we are beginning to see signs, and the gains are significant. So let us support the government, and then they should continue this path. And I believe firmly that in no time Galamsey is going to be a thing of the past, given the stringent measures that they are already taking.
We are all hoping so as well. So let's read some comments on YouTube. This is from Andy Danso Jata. And this is from Kojo. Haha, 2 NDC versus 1 NPP. Kojo again, he said, activists forget insane. Thank you so much for your comments, and thank you to our YouTube audience and our Facebook audience. Thank you so much for sticking with us. At this juncture, we are calling it a wrap. But before we leave, your last words, please, Mr. Abdul.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here. It's a great pleasure to always come and have our thoughts shared to the Ghanaian people. I want to extend my greetings to my boss, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, and the entire constituency Yagba Kubari. It's been a great honor that we have a member of parliament who cares for the people. We have a member of parliament who is always there for the people, and ensuring that the constituency has developed to a large extent. Before he came into office, the development, the rate at which we were developing was minimal. But today we can, speak of a lot of developmental initiatives that he has brought to the constituency. And so I extend my greetings to him for the good works, and I encourage him to, keep on doing that for the people of Yagbakubo. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul. Mr. Nelson.
Thank you very much. It has always been a privilege to be on this show. And I always thank Ghanaians for watching us actively and contributing to national discourse. I will particularly send my regards to the cocoa farmers across the country who are currently living the dream of Burkina Faso cocoa farmers, because presently we heard the news from Ivory Coast where their cocoa farmers are going to be paid 1,200. Initially they were paying 2,800. That is about 57% decrement, whereas their Ghanaian counterparts are being paid 2,587. So currently the cocoa farmers in Ivory Coast are praying fervently to be like the Ghanaian cocoa farmers, and that all indicates the good policies and prudence of the current administration, John Dramani Mahama administration. And my regards to the entire cocoa board management team, Dr. Randy Abe. He's doing a very good job, and I think the people of Ghana are excited about everything that he's doing. Thank you. And my very good brothers from the NPP and the incoming NDC Deputy Communications Officer. I wish him the very best. And my brother is looking very good. He's enjoying the economy. I can tell. He's enjoying the economy. But he will not say the truth. Maybe next time on the show, I pray that he will come and bear witness to the goodness of the country. Thank you very much.
Abdul. Mr. Mohammed.
I'll take this opportunity to say thank you to your entire crew, and I will say shout out to my immediate boss who is yet to leave the office for me, if God willing. That is Mr. Nuruddin Betis Kotia. I will also say a very good morning to my MP, Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelpo, for being there for the good people of Wa Central constituency. He has done a yeoman's job and will continue to back him until the time comes that he is no longer moving us. Again, I will say my greetings to all the constituents of Wa Central constituency, more especially to our media monitors back home, and then to the very hard-working branch executives that has actually kept the party moving in all the branches and making sure that the party is always winning elections year on year, or election cycle on election cycle. I say shout out to everybody. Dr. Nuhu Faisal of MVI is also being acknowledged here. That is my personal boss.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. Your surname, I'll master it in there.
Just try it once before we leave.
Unless you help me. Chatiene.
Exactly.
Yeah, the name is good. Chatiene. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed Chatiene. And also Mr. Jetta Nelson.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Razak. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show. Thank you too to our online audience. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.